So weird. I just had it perfect and it just like messed it up for some reason. That was weird. Okay, now lock. Then we're gonna bring this over here. Come on. Nope. What the heck is happening? Okay, we're just gonna put you there. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna get off of that. KKK. Alrighty, let me catch up on the chat. And we'll have it in Enzo's live where you dropped. Of course I was. Of course I was dropped. He doesn't want to co-host together. He wants me to come into his space and debate, and he says because I won't go into his space and debate, despite the fact that I've challenged him for 100 days now, that I'm a runner. Vincent, why are you like crashing out in my comments already? We literally just had a veterans month. Hey, Allie. AI is not a source. He has no idea. He has no idea how many veterans months exist. Not a clue. All right, chat. Thank you for being here. Let's tap the screen, share the live, do all of the good things so we can hit the algorithm. I'm going to get set up here. All right. Yeah, I know, AI. I know. All right, so let's see. Hey. Oh. All right, guys. So, Jesus, guys, hi, Peanut Butter. So, I don't know how long I'm going to last, guys. I'm fading pretty fast. So, when I got off this afternoon, I had some errands I needed to run, and I had some farm chores I had to do, because as the majority of you know, I own, like, a small farm, hobby farm? Yeah, okay, that's how this is going. Chat. And two of those things were, one, get play sand, so I can create a sandbox for my son. And two, get more sand so I can finish the bottom of my coop so the ducks can stop walking on rocks, because, like, the rocks aren't great for their little ducky feet, right? It's Dark Deplorable. This is my backup account. Weren't you, like, just in a live, like, last night, like, encouraging them to, like, make fun of me and do, like, weird shit, Dark Deplorable? I actually think I took a screenshot of it. Hold on. But anyway, so I had to get, what was it? I got 8 bags, so that's 400 pounds of sand, and guess how many men helped me carry that sand to my car? While I had a toddler in tow. Let's see. Keep your body warm and drink warm water when it's cold. Yeah, Myra, when all of them were calling me grifters and doing all of that stuff. Peanut Butter, you were like, I plan on going into Emma's live when she goes live. Yes, it's me, the dark one. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's not a screenshot of you on Shan Carr. Literally encouraging them to, like, call me a grifter and, like, do all the things, letting them make fun of me for, like, utilizing TikTok to feed my child and, like, all of that stuff. That wasn't you. That's weird. What do you want to talk about, Peanut Butter? Come on up.
Hey, Emma.
Hi, what would you like to talk about?
Well, one of the things that I've been wanting to talk to you for a while was the 10 years from now stuff. Because that was one of the things I've been wanting to talk to you about for, like, a really long time. I've just never had the opportunity to.
And that's fine, but I mean, you come in here every single day as, like, a fan of what I do, and, like, you encourage me and the things that I do, and then you go and you encourage them talking shit about me. Can you explain that real quick?
So, no, I don't. That's not what I was intended to do, and that's not what I meant to do. And if it came off like that, I do apologize. What I don't care what other people think about you. Personally, I was actually in Mercy's live already today, and after they blocked you, I told them I don't have any issues or quarrel with you. I've told them if you have issues and quarrels with Emma, that's entirely up to you. But when we talk, we have pretty good conversations, and we don't really go to insulting or anything like that. So
Okay.
I apologize if it came off that way. That was not my intention.
No, you're fine, and I absolutely appreciate you taking accountability and apologizing
Mhm.
for your actions because I thought we had more respect for each other than that. So 10
No,
years from now.
I'm sorry.
So what I meant by that is 10 years from now, if Republicans, like the party you voted for, if they were to get everything
Yes.
they wanted signed into law with zero pushback, what does that look like for American society as a whole?
It is going to be an odd answer, but me personally, it would be a dictatorship, leaning very much so towards communism. And I've thought about that for a while.
How does a
So-
dictatorship lean towards communism? You realize dictatorships are a far right ideology. That's authoritarianism.
Yes.
Whereas communism is
Well,
a far left ideology. Those two things are polar
Yeah.
opposites of one another.
Well, for me personally, and this is just my personal opinion. Like I always say, facts trump my feelings. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Right.
But I consider a dictatorship not just a far right leaning ideology. I also consider it a communist ideology as well. And to me, if anybody, I don't care who it is going to sit there and, say people can't have a say, in certain things, whatever the case may be. Like, for example, our First Amendment right.
Mhm.
We're allowed to, express our feelings. If we don't agree with what the president is doing, we're allowed to, go up there and we're allowed to protest. We're allowed to hold signs. We're allowed to do all of these things, which is what I want and encourage. I believe a dictator would absolutely be the polar opposite of that.
Right,
And
but
it would be
communism
very
wouldn't
controlling.
agree with that, right? So communism is the collective owning
Yeah.
everything and making decisions together. So like a dictatorship is like one singular person making like the rules for everybody involved, right?
Yeah.
Whereas communism is the collective owning everything as a community, making decisions as a community, growing as a community, that sort of thing. So there's no way for communism to be a complete dictatorship because that would require like one authoritarian person to be like the leader.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Like I don't think we should go as far as communism, right? Because like I
Yeah.
don't think there's any communist country like true communist country that's ever like survived, right? But I do think like a mixture of socialism and capitalism work well together. So like providing things for people like basic income because the AI boom that everybody has poured into, for example, right? Because everybody uses AI. So basic income based off the AI boom that's coming, basic access to healthcare, like social benefit programs like SNAP and those things existing. Like I think those things can exist within capitalism, and like we would still move forward as a society and be better off for it, right? Because we still have to buy clothes, we still have to pay our electric bill, we still have to like pay our internet bill. Like we don't expect any of these things to be like free or for the collective. We're just screaming for like basic human rights things, right? Like we have medicine that could stop the majority of basic illnesses like the measles from like killing people, and there's no reason that people shouldn't be able to go to the doctor to be able to get treatment for that thing. There's no reason like a diabetic should have to choose between groceries and their insulin in a month. That should never be a choice someone has to make.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with you on that. And here's my other take too. As odd as this may sound, coming from a Republican, I have been talking with a lot of people that have been talking about universal health care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the fence with it because I feel like it would be one of the major issues that I have with the universal health care, and it's the only one that I have, is the what if scenario. What if we ended up getting taxed way too much on the universal health care and we end up getting screwed over? Now, I used to be fully against it. I wasn't for it. I didn't like it. And it was more reasons than just that. But now my tone has shifted a little bit. I think universal health care would be pretty good if it's implemented properly, and if it's not like rushed in, like a rushed healthcare thing. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree. And so this is what a lot of us base our arguments off of. Like, and I'm saying a lot of us because not all of us. So this is Bernie Sanders. If you just Google Bernie Sanders Medicare for All model, this literally goes through like what the transition would look like, what the freedom of choice would look like, what the cost would look like, right? And based off of this model, let's say you currently pay $500 a week or $500 a month, right? For privatized insurance for your family. $500 a week if you're like a family of 4, right? That's what you're paying for privatized insurance. On top of that, you're already paying a Medicare, Medicaid tax that comes straight out of your FICA taxes. So now let's get rid of that privatized insurance and let's raise that Medicare, Medicaid tax by like 5%. So now you're paying like $200 for Medicaid, Medicare a week, but you're still saving $300 because you no longer have to pay for that privatized insurance, and everybody as a collective has access to healthcare.
To me, makes sense. That would be more preferred. Also, I did see somebody mention in the comments why this account says liberal. I thrive in chaos, so I like to troll even the Republicans every now and then. I like to have a little bit of fun. So,
Dr. Corwell, you're a hot mess.
Yeah, I know.
But I hope I was able to answer some of your questions.
Yeah, so one of the other things that I saw in here as I was looking at everything, can I even say that, or do I have to use TikTok-friendly language?
Just say it.
Okay, fuck it. All right, the gun reform. Mm-hmm. What are you referring to with that? I'm just genuinely curious.
For gun reform, so I'm a gun owner. I have my lifetime concealed carry, which Indiana completely fucked me over on because like 2.5 years later, they just became like an open carry state. Yeah. Like anyone can conceal carry now. It's a mess. But anyway, basically, I'm just advocating for universal background checks to close the loophole with privatized sales within this country because we know that's a problem. Safe storage laws, which could prevent gun violence as a whole if people properly store their guns, or if people are held accountable for not properly storing their guns. And red flag laws modeled after Florida specifically, because I like the fact that it can't be somebody just willy-nilly calling the police and making a claim against you. There has to be evidence provided, and that evidence has to go in front of a judge before your guns are even thought to be confiscated. And then they're only confiscated for 14 days. You then have the right to prove to a judge that you are of sound mind and body, and if you can prove that, you get your guns back. If you can't, they're only confiscated for a year.
Well, that's not too bad. I feel like, I don't know, maybe a year might be too long, or it could be too short. I don't really know. I kind of have to ponder on that one.
I'm open for negotiation on this thing. I just think implementing these 3 things specifically on a federal level, so that way the laws don't vary on a state-by-state basis. Because I think you should have to run a background check on every gun sold within the confines of this country to anyone at any time, period. And by not doing that, that's how quote-unquote illegal guns get into places where they have stricter gun restrictions, and then those guns are used in crime. So I think if we crack down on these things, we could actually save more lives.
It's kind of good to hear, because even though I'm a Republican, I actually do believe that universal background checks should be a thing. I also feel like, maybe this is just me speaking, but the background checks should take a little bit longer than what it normally is, and I think the loopholes need to be getting rid of as well. Sorry, my puppy's like all over me right now. I apologize.
What kind of puppy did you get?
So he's currently 10 months old, and he's a German Shepherd Leonberger mix.
Eat him, pupper. Eat him.
He's huge, but he's trying to play with me right now.
Oh, I'm
So.
sure. Like, Junie
But
is
the only
about to be 10
problem is
months
I'm
old,
trying
so
to
I
get
get
him
it.
to bite his toys and not bite me, preferably.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's just that prey drive in him, babe. Just don't run.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just don't run.
But yeah, no. So there's a loophole, I think, in the background check system that a lot of gun shop owners may or may not use. I'm not 100% sure on it. But if I wanted to go and say I wanted to go and I wanted to get a gun, and let's just say for the fun of it, my wife's name was in all of my vehicles and I had nothing to my name, just as a hypothetical, I wouldn't be able to go and get a gun because I don't have anything that's in my name. Our room, our house, our cars, or anything of that nature. So I wouldn't be able to do that. Now, there's a loophole to it where, from my understanding, is that if I wanted to get a weapon, then all my wife would have to do was print out a lease saying that she rents a room out to me. And that's one of the fast tracks in clearing a background check as well.
Honestly, the background check in a lot of places takes no time at all. So, like, the first gun that I ever owned, was a Taurus. Oh god, I can't even remember what type of Taurus it was. But I went to a race. Like, I went to the local racetrack, a car race, and I bought a raffle ticket for $50, and I won a gun.
Nice.
And I went to the gun shop the next day and I filled out the paperwork and they, like, literally within 15 minutes had me, like, in and out of the store with a gun. And I had never in my life, like, ever even, like, held a gun. So the whole thing just felt, like, wildly irresponsible.
No, absolutely. Like, down here in Florida, you some of the things you have to do is you have to do weapons training. You have to do, like, a bunch of classes and stuff like that. Even with the open carry law that did pass, which, like, I'm very, like, 50-50 with it. Like, part of me is okay with it because of then I know, like, who has a weapon and who doesn't. But at the same time, it's also concerning because somebody who can pass a background check, who could be mentally unstable, then now you see where I'm going with that.
So, like, here's the radical left lunatic in me. I actually went as far to I have found a middle ground when it comes to safe storage laws, universal background checks, and red flag laws. I personally would want to go as far as insuring guns the way that we insure cars for safety, or even allowing medical professionals to flag people who are deemed unsafe. So, like, a green flag means you're eligible to buy everything. A yellow flag means you have access to, like, self-defense weapons in your home, like a handgun, but you can't have things like an AR. And red flags would be like, nope, this person absolutely should not have a gun under any circumstances. But that's like the radical left lunatic in me. So,
but that's not necessarily. Me personally, I don't consider that very radical left though. Because if you really think about it, especially in today's society, we have a lot of people that are at each other's throats, so to speak.
Right.
I don't care if like, for example, we have people that are going after trans, we have people that are going after the LGBT community, we have people going after this and that and all those other things and everything like that. And even though I have my own opinions on the LGBT community and everything like that, there's still people, they're still human beings. I don't really care who you are or what you do. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. At the end of the day, the tow truck driver motto is, at the end of the day, we don't care about your politics. We don't care if you're gay, trans, any of that. We only care about getting you off the road and making sure you're safe. Because at the end of the day, we both want to go home to our families, and we're all human beings at the end of the day.
Yep. Well, Dark, I feel like this was actually a really good conversation. We got a couple other people in the queue, but if you ever want to come back up and talk, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, no, bet. I got you.
Yeah, you have a great night. And enjoy that puppy. They won't stay small and loving forever.
I will. No, bye.
Like, I say that as I have a 9-month-old pup, but, like, I just miss my Nymeria a ton. Hi, Coconut Dr. Pepper. First and foremost, ew. Secondly, can I have your
It's
age,
great,
state,
Dr.
and who you
Pepper.
voted for?
That's great. Don't be hating on coconut Dr. Pepper.
23 flavors of bullshit, Dr. Pepper.
But 26 Pennsylvania and Trump, and I was gonna kind of go to the gun reform.
Okay.
You said specifically if you want to have like green lights, people could obtain an AR, for an example.
So that's just
But
like the
I don't
radical
know
left
why.
lunatic in me, right? Like my big advocacy that I primarily focus on, because that's never going to happen. That's like a pipe dream of mine. That's never going to come to fruition.
Yeah, but
What
why
I
would that be a pipe
advocate
dream though?
because people are going to feel like that's a violation of their rights as people, right?
No, but I'm saying, why do you want it banned?
Why do I want what banned?
Why do you want people to not be able to obtain in that scenario an AR, for example?
So
Why
I just
specifically an AR?
I wouldn't want them to obtain any type of high powered rifle.
Yeah,
like
but
AR,
any rifle, even a bolt
so,
action.
right? No, any like literally any high powered rifle, any of them. The reason why I used AR specifically is because that is the number one brand of rifle that people can correlate in their mind to something.
Yeah,
right?
but I want to ask you a question though. But why? Because specifically, according to the CDC, they correlate a very few amount of unalignment cases.
So you're
All
talking about
is 3%.
Right. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. My
Yeah, but why do you want
argument.
to base something that causes 3%?
Can I answer the question? Because so far, every time I've gone to answer, you interrupt me with "but why." So are you going to be good enough for me to give you an answer for this question, or do I have to start utilizing the mute button? Because I really don't want to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, great. So I used AR as an example. The things that I actually advocate for are to not take any weapons away from anybody. It's simply universal background checks on a federal level, safe storage laws, or red flag laws. But if it was implemented that healthcare professionals can flag a person with a red, yellow, or green flag, right, then the red flag would not allow any person to buy any type of gun whatsoever because a medical professional deemed them unfit. The yellow flag would say that they could do things like have something for home defense, which if we look at DC v. Heller, the Supreme Court has ruled the only thing necessary for home defense is a handgun. So this would outlaw that person from buying any high-powered rifle at any time, not specifically just AR-15s. You're stuck on the fact that I used an AR-15 as an example of this rifle instead of saying something else. I don't understand where
Can I
you're
respond?
stuck at.
Yeah, but when it comes to regulation, it was also a Supreme Court case that ruled it was Byrne, and they ruled on that specific case that states can regulate guns, specifically just on historical incidences on regulations, not negating safety benefits. They can't prohibit the access of guns, saying it's a safety method or prevention of unalignment. States cannot legally prevent access from that. That's why California got struck down by a federal court, a federal judge, when they try to implement that an assault weapons ban. That's why Illinois got struck down by a federal judge when they try to implement an assault weapons ban. That's why DC recently got struck down with a magazine capacity ban. They ruled it was unconstitutional procedure according to the Supreme Court precedents and rulings. States can't negate the right of people to obtain this access.
Right,
And I
which is
don't
why
agree.
I only advocate for universal background checks, red flag laws, and safe storage laws.
Yeah, but they also stated it's up to the states. It's not up to the federal government to implement those regulations. The government don't have a right to intervene on the state level when it comes to access.
Be though, right? So so the federal government exists. Hold on, the federal government exists to divvy out we allocate our taxes, and they're supposed to divvy out our taxes the way that we deem them to be spent, right? And I believe the federal government's job is also to make sure that every constituent within the confines of America is able to have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, so if we find that states are abusing these rights, right? So the fact that Indiana, for example, makes it really easy for people from Illinois to come obtain weapons, those weapons then become illegal in Illinois and are used in crime, that's a problem. The fact that states are allowing women to die due to lack of access to health care is a problem. So at what point do we say the federal government needs to step in because states are abusing their power?
Well, states won't be abusing their power at that instance because they ain't overmining and limiting the access to a constitutional protected activity.
Universal background checks, safe storage laws, and red
No,
flag
but
laws do not hinder your Second
no,
Amendment.
it does
It
because you
doesn't.
just sit there and said
Can you still
it
obtain a
does.
weapon with all three of those things?
You can, but it negates of what would be a red flag. For
What are the
example,
27 words of the Second Amendment?
a well-regulated militia
Comma,
being necessary for a free state,
comma,
the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be
comma.
infringed.
Right. So
Let's
I'm
just
not
say the whole thing
infringing.
in
I'm
one
not
comma.
infringing
It is
anyone's
an
rights.
infringement.
It's not an infringement. You can still absolutely own your guns, and you can own your guns responsibly, or you can be dealt with for not being a responsible gun owner.
No, but it ain't the government's right to negate whether I'm responsible or not. That shouldn't be criminalized or penalized.
So how does
Because
Florida have a red flag law?
The red flag law in Florida, I believe, it is you can't have no weapon in public unless you're camping or fishing.
Nope,
But
that's
to
not a red
obtain a
flag law.
pew but to obtain a pew is mental capacity, felonies, mental illness.
That's not
It's
what a red
multiple
flag law
different-
is.
A red flag law is if you have some criminal record or have some form
That's
of
not
mental
a red
illness.
flag law. You're wrong.
It is correlated with the red flag laws.
No, here, let's look up Florida's
Yes.
red flag law officially. Stop it. You're wrong. You're wrong, and it's okay to be wrong. I'm literally going to pull it
Yes,
up on
I'm-
the screen so we can go over this together. Right? Things to know about Florida's red flag laws. Hold on, I need to resize this box here because it's like a weird size. Let me put this up to the top. All right, and we're going to make this a little bit bigger so we can go over these things together. Dang it, this is like a weirdly sized website. Okay. Red flag laws receive a lot of attention in the media, with many arguing that these laws are unfair because they violate a person's Second Amendment right to possess a firearm. Although that may be true, in response to the Parkland shooting, Florida has become one of the latest states to enact such law. The civil rights law is intended to prevent mass shootings, just like the one in Parkland, but the law is so broad, often people who do not pose a danger to anyone have their firearms taken away from them, which is an infringement on their rights. It is the reason that all gun owners in Florida should be aware of the law and the rights they still have within it.
I'm not negating that, but you have to correlate what they
Okay.
interpret
Again,
as
stop.
safety methods.
Stop. I'm explaining to you what a red flag law is. You're stating if you're a criminal that hinders you from purchasing a gun, that is a red flag law. That is not what a red flag law is. That's not what that means at all, which is why I need you to just hush and be quiet. The red flag law is known in the statutes as risk protection orders. Under the statute, anyone that believes a firearm owner is a risk to themselves or anyone else can petition the court to issue an emergency order. So people who own firearms already, which would not be criminals, because that's against the law, anyone can petition the court to issue an emergency order against the firearm owner saying they are a risk to themselves or others. This order prevents the person that is allegedly a risk to others from having access to firearms, even when they own those firearms. In some situations, a judge can also issue an order that demands the allegedly dangerous person to turn in their firearms. Sometimes the firearm owner is not even notified about the confiscation of their weapons when it happens. It is known as an ex parte order. So what I'm advocating for, when it comes to red flag laws specifically, is that you have to provide evidence to a police officer or to a judge that a person is unsafe to themselves and or others. And then that judge has to rule on whether or not that person is unsafe to themselves and or others. If they are, they have their guns confiscated for 14 days. Within that 14 days, they also come to court for a court date to prove that they are of sound mind and body and not a risk to themselves and or others. And if they prove that, they get their guns back. If they don't prove that, they lose their guns for a short period of time. That's all it is.
I'm not negating what you are saying, but what I am saying is what is correlated with the red flag laws. What do they deem as a red flag?
So if you and I are in a relationship and we have a child, right?
Go ahead.
And I decide to leave you, and you text me that you're going to come to my house, murder our child, myself, and then yourself, I should be able to go to the police and say, yo, dog, this guy shouldn't have his guns right now. And the police should then be able to confiscate your weapons at a judge's order to protect us from being killed by you.
No, but in that particular instance, a gun ain't gonna be the only particular item that he's gonna unalive you with. If he has intent to unalive you in that particular instance, he's going to find any means to unalive you because he hates you. You're acting like he ain't gonna do nothing if you just obtain his
What is
weapons.
the number one cause of death in children in America?
Oh, that's a very. If you look at the statistics, it's very broke down weirdly.
No, according to the CDC, what is the number one cause of death in
Yes,
children in
but
America?
if you look at the CDC, if you look at intentional violence towards children, it's not the main cause.
Right.
If it's intentional,
so that
it's not the main
leads us.
cause.
So hold on. So that
Go
leads
ahead.
us. So red flag laws could prohibit the
But can
intentional
I break
cause.
down what it says? Can I break down what it says on children?
Stop. The
Why
intentional.
won't you let me answer?
Sir, I'm answering you right now. So the intentional cause, right? The intentional violence could be stopped with red flag laws, and the unintentional, like self-deletion, could be stopped with safe storage laws.
Yes, but when you look at that CDC report, though, it also negates and includes 18 and 19-year-olds
They're
within
still
the statistic.
children. They're still
They're
children.
not children by the federal government. They're recognized as adults. And 18-year-olds, they're recognized as an adult. They're an adult.
Are they in high school?
Classified as an adult.
Are they in high school?
They may be. They may not.
Which makes them a child.
It depends on. No, they're not a child. They can do basically anything anybody else can do besides.
I don't think 18 and 19
alcohol.
year olds. I don't think 18 and 19 year olds should be allowed to be considered adults. I don't think that's right.
Well,
I think right that if you can't smoke a cigarette or purchase a beer, then you are not legally an adult. Like I think the age should be raised to 21 years old.
Okay, but if that's the case, if you don't believe they're like an adult, then we should also increase the age of
Earl,
voting to
thank you so
21
much.
to 25.
We should 21, absolutely. Earl, thank you so much for the $12. Double the goal. Get to work, chat. I appreciate you, Earl. Thank you so much.
But if you look at the CDC report, it's only about 50% intentional unalignments of children. If you take away the 18 and 19-year-olds and the self-unalignment, 40% of those cases of children are self-unalignment cases. It's not
so
individuals.
Safe storage laws would stop that,
really
just like I said.
No, safety store. If the kid knows the code to that safe,
then that's not safe storage. That's not safe storage. If the kid knows your code to the safe, because if your kid has access to your weapon, that's not safely stored. I own many guns, many guns in this house. Do you think my children know the code to my safe?
I don't see, probably not, but I don't see what the problem is if they did.
Because that would be unsafe storage. That allows them to obtain a weapon to either accidentally harm themselves or others, or purposely hurt others and themselves. That is not safe storage. Children should not have access to guns.
See, then I would say that's the responsibility of the parent to teach their children about gun safety.
And yet, as we know, a lot of parents are irresponsible, hence the reason why the majority of that statistic is children self-deleting.
That's why I believe in parental rights. I believe the parents should be able to teach their children what they want and raise their children how they see fit, whether it's guns or not. Because if you have a hobby, for instance, like hunting, with your child that's under the age of 18 and he knows the safety code.
Okay, so hold on. Let's push back on that logic.
Well, you're interrupting me mid-sentence.
But hold on. Well, because you triggered something in my brain that I have to make sure we stay logically consistent.
Okay, go ahead.
You voted for Trump, correct?
It is logically consistent.
So how do you feel about trans people existing?
I disagree with the not allowing them to obtain guns in that instance, if that's where you're going.
That's not where we're going. How do you feel about trans children existing?
I disagree with it.
Shouldn't that be between the parents and their doctor?
Yeah, it should, but I don't think we should be
So hold on, though. Parents' rights when it comes to teaching their children about weapons that are meant to take life, but fuck parents' rights if the child comes to them and says, "Mom, I feel incongruent with the body I was born in. Can we explore other options?"
Can children consent?
To what?
No, children can't consent to a permanent action or consent to anything.
They're not doing any permanent actions. They're just getting medical care.
Yes, they're getting care, and that could be hormone treatment.
No, it's just puberty blockers. Yes. It's just puberty blockers.
No, that could be hormone treatment and puberty blockers.
Hold on. How do you feel about teenage girls being on birth control?
teenage girls being on birth control. I mean, I really don't care.
But that's a hormone treatment.
But it has a negative impact. It also has a mental impact on them. It has
What?
multiple different impacts.
Hold on. The logical inconsistency here is wild work.
People on birth control. No, people on birth control for a long period of time, and they all of a sudden get off.
Those are hormone treatments.
No, that is birth control. Yes, it's hormone treatments. But
what is in birth control?
I'm not disagreeing. No, I'm not disagreeing. You're correct.
So hold on. So teenage girls can have access to birth control, which is a hormone treatment, but trans children can't have puberty blockers.
I would say no.
Why? Your logical inconsistency is flabbergasting.
Well, I literally said I don't agree with either.
So then children should not have access to guns, and parents should not give their children access to guns.
That's not correlated with.
It literally is. It is. How are you going to take parents' rights? How are you going to take parents' rights away from one group of people, but not from the other?
No, but you're literally trying to correlate hormones.
You're taking parents' rights away.
Gun safety laws.
No. I'm correlating parents' rights.
This is an action. Go ahead.
I'm correlating parents' rights. You're saying parents should have the right to teach their children gun safety and give their children unlimited access to guns in their gun safes. That would still be safe storage laws in your opinion. But if their child feels like they're physically incongruent with the body they were born in, that parent is not allowed to go to that child's healthcare provider and make medical decisions based off a medical professional's professional opinion.
Well, one is based off of permanent results and permanent long-term results, and the other is obtaining a material object. Training people how to use the PPO, obtain a PPO is completely different of taking hormone treatment.
Okay.
And it taking puberty months blockers and years. Permanent? No, it can take up to years.
Is HRT
to go back to
permanent?
Where it was before. No, I just said it could take years to go back to where it was before you took hormone.
Right, and it takes no time for a child to take someone's life, and then they have no coming back from that. It doesn't take years to come back from that. There is zero coming back.
Yeah, but why do you want to pause people's hormones for a long period of time?
It's not for a long period of time.
It is. It could be up to years for it to go back to
a couple of years.
Capacity.
Great.
Yes, but you're sitting there saying that that's the same as a kid having access to a gun, and I would say no, it's not.
So hold on. So when my friend's brother Jameson got a hold of a gun. Hold on. When he got a hold of a gun at his buddy's house, and that buddy held the gun and it went off and shot Jameson in the head, is it going to take years for Jameson to come back, or is he just dead?
He is dead, but you're sitting there stating just because he had depression.
No, he didn't have depression. He didn't shoot himself. Him and his friend were playing with an unsafe gun that a parent didn't properly store. And that gun went off.
I would say that's like teaching your kid how to operate a gun. I mean, I wouldn't say that's really on the fault of the parents. I would say that is on the fault of the parents. Sorry for not teaching the kid, but I wouldn't say that's we need to start mandating and regulating this. I don't think the government should have no place in how a person obtains their own object properly or not. That shouldn't be up to the government whatsoever. But
it's up to the government whether or not you can get medical treatment for your child.
I would say yes, because there's a lot of negative impact. What percent are trans people, hypothetically, allow us your question, are trans people
you have a logical inconsistency,
the highest per cap? No, you're trying to correlate trans with hormone treatment.
You have a logical inconsistency.
Parents' rights, parental rights.
So I'm not.
I'm trying to correlate, which is two different instances.
No. I'm not trying to correlate gun safety.
You are.
And trans children existing. I'm correlating parents' rights to parents' rights. So I need you to stay. No. I need you to stay on topic. Stay on topic. Parents' rights to parents' rights. Do parents have the rights to teach and do with their children what they will? Period.
No, not period. No, you can't abuse a child.
That's okay. So to teach their children, to get medical care for their children, to care for their children. I'm not saying abuse. Like you're going on like some weird thing right now. I'm just saying across the board, do parents have the rights to teach their children what they want to teach them, and take their children to doctors and get the vaccines that they want? Because children can't consent to vaccines, but you guys have no problem with that.
Well, a lot of people do have a problem with people getting vaccines, but go ahead.
Do you have a problem with people getting vaccines?
No, right. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it depends on the instance, but yeah, sure.
The logical inconsistency is crazy. What instance does it matter for? And why is it the Panini vaccine?
The Panini vaccine, I have no idea what that was. That was probably before my time.
Pandemic?
Oh, the pandemic. Oh, the pandemic. The C-19 vaccine?
Yeah, that would be the pandemic.
Well, there's multiple pandemics, for sure. I would say the purpose of the vaccine was... The purpose of the vaccine was to prevent spread of the disease.
I'm not asking you what the purpose of the vaccine was. I'm asking you...
That's what I thought you just asked me.
No, I'm asking you. You said you have no problem with vaccines, but some of them. I'm asking you, why don't you have a problem with vaccines if by your logical, your argument here, children can't consent and parents force their children to get vaccinated, but why is the one vaccine you have a problem with the C-19 vaccine?
Well, you asked me about the pandemic vaccine. I mean, I didn't say nothing about the vaccine. Pandemic vaccine.
No, I'm assuming that's the one you have an issue with.
Well, I didn't say I even had a problem with that vaccine. I think a lot of not negative impacts. I think it was rushed throughout society too fast.
I don't think you are paying attention to this conversation very well. That was sarcasm, right? I sarcastically was saying, which vaccines do you have a problem with, and why is it the C-19 vaccine? I know you never said it was. I know you never said that. I'm making an assumption of you that the vaccine you have a problem with is the C-19. The joke's not funny when I have to explain it.
Well, I didn't think it was a joke. You seemed very serious when you asked the question. But I don't even know.
My friend Angel, who is a trained, I can't think of the word right now. Angel, request up here. Angel would like to talk to you. I can't think of words. Right
sure. She's going to try to make some loophole around the transgender hormone treatment.
No, they want to talk to you about guns. They want to talk to you about guns.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm going to mute.
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can hear you.
So, I'm going to just explain this real quick. I'm a trained pew pew instructor in the state of Indiana. I actually just have a few questions.
Okay, that's nice for you.
What was that, sir?
Yes, what do you guys say, Angel?
So, you mentioned earlier on about these red flag laws.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the federal government should have a say in who should have a pew pew and who shouldn't?
No, I do not know. I think that should be up to the states.
So, let me tell you this. So, technically, the federal government can legally take away your permit for any possible reason. They don't even have to tell you that reason.
Tell me where a pew-pew right been restricted without giving any logical reason.
You guys can say guns, by the way.
Okay, what
Really?
gun has been taken away from a law-abiding citizen and has been restricted without any reasoning?
So technically, the federal government, if they suspect that that firearm is going to be used in the commission or in violation of federal law, they can legally confiscate it.
When have they done that, Angel?
They have done this several times. They did this with the Branch Davidian. When that happened, they took away their firearms originally, and that's what caused the whole conflict.
The what? I didn't hear what you said. What?
Do you know about the Branch Davidian situation?
I know a little bit about it, not a whole lot about it.
So the whole reason why that started was because the church, I'll be completely honest here, bought an excess of firearms. And pretty much from there, the ATF got involved, and they said, hold on a second here, you shouldn't have this many guns if you are a church. And they did the research into these weapons and realized, actually, they were not bought for legal purpose. They're actually legally modified.
Yes, that would be about modification. That necessarily wouldn't be because he had overwhelming access.
They can still remove your permit for it. If you illegally modify
you said for any reason, Angel. You said for literally, they had no reason whatsoever to obtain a PP, but
they don't even have to tell you the reasoning behind it.
You said it was
if they believe that you're a threat to
modified.
yourself, if they believe that you're a threat to yourself or others, they can take away that shit. I've had it before. I've had people come to me and say, I got a letter from the ETF saying that they've removed my firearms license. I asked them why. It's like, oh, because I made a joke. Because I made a joke about booming so many years ago.
This is because you have a license, Angel.
What was that?
This is solely because you have a license, but you can't negate any factor of society doing that. Just saying they're not safety of themselves. They would commit harm to themselves whenever they take away a gun in that instance.
I
Saying you're
can look that up. Oh, I think Emma can as
Oh.
well.
So I just want to point out here that as of 2026, 22 states and the District of Columbia have some form of a red flag law, which is an extreme risk protection order, which allows the court to temporarily restrict a person's access to firearms and take their firearms away from them. So why have these 22 states not been struck down?
I would say that depends on the federal judge looking at those particular instances. But again, that isn't the government intervening, right?
That is
That's
the government
state should
intervening.
be-
That's the
That is
court.
the state. That I know, but these are states implementing.
Judges work
these
for
red
what
flag
branch
laws.
of government?
They work for the judicial branch of government.
So that would be the
But-
government stepping in.
Yes, that would be the government, but they have not stepped in those instances.
But they have.
So
Right.
I'm just reading
What
at the
instance did they
moment.
step in on those red flag laws you just mentioned?
Okay, so you get an emergency risk protection order, which is where a judge signs a
Mhm.
protection order saying you are not allowed to have firearms. And then they
Yes,
come and they order you to turn in your firearms, or they come and take them from your home. That is the government stepping in.
Yeah, but did you not say this is based on state law?
I did.
No,
22 state
it's
laws.
Yes,
based
you
on-
did. Yes, you did.
It's based
State
on
law,
federal
like I stated.
guidelines.
No, but like I said, it's
Right.
stated by implemented by the state.
I'm saying that, but here's the thing though,
Yeah.
does that not infringe a person's Second Amendment right?
In that case, they would probably say no.
Why?
They would say no because that's I don't know. I haven't looked at those cases. I'll have
Because
to
I
read
don't
it.
know why. Okay.
No, I haven't looked at those cases. I have to read that case. And I have to get my opinion. I haven't heard about that case.
It's not a case, it's 22 states with red flag laws. It's not any
So,
particular
Well,
case.
I have to. You said they could take
So,
a
Emma.
restrict access to a gun or take away a gun. I have to look at that.
Yes,
So,
it's an
Emma,
emergency
can I-
risk protection order.
So,
Sorry.
Well, I have to look
Emma,
that up.
Can I just read this out
Go
to
ahead.
probably people in the chat as well? A federal agency can legally issue a red flag order through a judge or through judicial oversight through the department's director of that federal agency if they believe an individual is a risk to themselves, national security, or a threat to others.
Yep.
So legally, they don't even have to go see a judge. If a federal agency believes that you're a risk to yourself or others, they can legally take away your permit and take away your weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm sure they have certain guidelines. What's considered a risk to yourself or others? What are those guidelines?
That would probably be on the ATF's website. Let me have a look.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't just say
So,
risk yourself. There has to be
so
reasoning to
Indiana,
come to that conclusion.
Indiana, which is the state that I live in, has a red flag law. It's called the Jake Laird law. It's a little different from other states' red flag laws. If law enforcement believes someone is a danger to themselves or others, officers can seize the person's firearms. In emergency situations, they can do this without first getting a warrant, but they must quickly go to court afterward and justify the seizure.
But that wasn't the question, host. The question was, what do you negate as safety to yourself or others?
Right, I'm getting into that part because that's part of the law, right? I'm giving you the
Okay,
law
go
in its
ahead.
entirety.
Good.
Okay, so a judge then reviews the evidence and decides whether the firearms should be returned or retained. The person is entitled to a hearing and can challenge the government's evidence. Who is considered dangerous? This is the part that would answer your question. Under Indiana law, a person may be considered dangerous if they present an imminent risk of harming themselves or someone else, or are likely to present such a risk in the future and have documented evidence suggesting violent and suicidal behavior. The law specifically says that merely having a mental illness by itself is not enough. Evidence of dangerous behavior is required. Let's see. Indiana's law is primarily driven by law enforcement, so this can only be started by a law enforcement individual. Police seize the firearms, and prosecutors seek court approval. After a hearing, a judge can order the firearms retained. The owner can later petition for their return and seek restoration of their rights if they are no longer considered dangerous. So that is Indiana's law specifically, but this varies state by state. There are 22 states with some semblance of a red flag law, including the District of Columbia.
So
Yeah,
there
but
is
I'm
also
not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying threatening somebody with intense violence or
Well, that's been my
acting upon
argument
that
this
violence
whole
already-
time. That's been my
One second,
argument
but
this
that's
whole
not.
time.
But that's not. But that is not without any reasoning, like Angel stated. He said they could obtain it if they risk a threat, but a threat is already against federal law. You can't threaten people with violence. That's against federal law. So that's not for no reason whatsoever. That's intent to commit some form of action, like tyranny or unaliving somebody, for
Okay,
example. That's not-
Angel, it's been great to have you up here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you back down because I'm gonna move on from this conversation with Coconut because Coconut is not being logically consistent at all. So I hope you have a great day. Coconut, your logical inconsistency is driving me absolutely up the wall. I just can't do it, man. My argument the entire time was violence. Hi, Jay. I know you're a Trump supporter. Can I have your age and state?
37, Texas.
Okay, can you come in the same zip code as your phone?
Yeah, can you hear me or not?
There, yeah, I could hear you way better now. You sounded like kind of like you were stuck in a radio.
Yeah, last time I was at work, you were making fun of me, saying I had like catfished a picture. I'll show you my face. I'll show you my height. I'll show you
I wasn't making
my
fun
house,
of you.
my cars. No, I want you to see how fit and
Okay, so Jay, I wasn't making fun of you. I was simply asking why your profile picture is stolen from
I
an
have 3
actor.
cars.
Good
Okay,
for you. I have
yeah,
4,
no,
buddy.
I look like him since I was a kid. That's why people put
Oh,
that. Listen, I
wonderful.
put that in as
I
a.
was simply asking
Okay,
why your profile picture wasn't you. That wasn't me making fun of you, Jay.
I look like him, and I'm
So
also
that's
pretty
all you had to
muscular, and
say.
I'm
That's
6
Jay.
foot
That's all.
1.
Jay, that's all you had to say. That's literally it. You just had to say my profile picture is him because I look similar to him and have been like called him for a really long time, and I would have been like, okay, cool. That would have been fine, but instead you like went on this tangent about how like you're fit and handsome and you have these cars and a big house, and I don't care. I have a big house. I have 4 cars. Like, what do you mean?
Why don't you show me your cars? I'll show you my cars right now. You want to see? I'll
Well, I
show you
mean,
right now.
so we're on my computer, Jay. I can't take my camera off my computer and like take you outside where my cars would be. I don't park them in the living room, brother. Like, I don't know what you want from me, man. Who cares? Do you want to have a debate, or are you just here to like throw your big feelings around
You
because
see these
apparently I hurt
cars?
them?
There's a Model X.
Okay,
There's a
Jay.
Model X. There's a Model 3 Performance. I love Elon, by the
Jay, do you want to have a debate, or are you here to just throw a big fit because I hurt your fifis?
Yeah, debate about what? You won't let me talk. You will say stuff
There's
that's
some
not true.
subjects
I
over here to
gotta.
the side, or we could talk about current events, Jay. What tickles your fancy?
God, why is there no immigration enforcement?
What? Do you want to talk about immigration? We absolutely can talk about immigration if you'd like.
Yeah. Let's talk about immigration.
Okay, so what
'Cause
about
that's
immigration?
the biggest problem in this nation. Well, okay, great. Now that you brought it up, okay.
Now
So
that I brought it up is
you
wild.
gotta
Can I ask a
understand,
question
Emma.
first?
I am
Hold
a
on,
legal
Jay.
immigrant myself. Okay.
You know what, Jay? Actually, I've just decided against it. Actually, Jay, because like a question wasn't even asked. You're like, since you brought it up, when in fact you brought it up, Jay, not me. I'm just really not in the mood. I'm just really not in the mood for you, Jay. Grizzly, you're a friendly. I'm not letting you up, brother. Love you so much. But like not doing that. Like if you want to come up and have a back and forth discussion about immigration, Jay, request back up. But we're not gonna do like this weird like steamrolling thing that you guys think you're allowed to do in my space just because I'm a woman on the internet. I'm not gonna have it. I'm just not gonna deal with it. Like anyways, chat, let's tap the screen, let's share the live, let's do all of the good things. The queue is officially empty. Guys, my oldest child is traveling by herself for the first time in her life, which like I'm super worried about. It makes me super sad, but she's doing a great job. She made it to her gate. She made it to her gate all by herself. My goodness, I could not think of the word to save my own life. That was crazy. Okay, let's see. I think I may have found us alive. I would love to have like a good faith discussion with most of these people. It's just the steamrolling is like kind of crazy. Like I could understand talking over each other a little bit because we're all passionate about like things that like we do and we discuss. But like trying to just like blatantly steamroll a conversation is just weird to me, man. It's like when you just absolutely do not let another person talk, that's a problem in my opinion. Why is that like that? Okay. Let's fix it. And I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm a saint. I'm guilty of it. I absolutely am.
Corn and Slipknot did it together. Holy fucking shit.
Jay, I'm not a single mom. That's a weird comment that you're making, brother. I'm fucking married. So the way to stop the single mom crisis is allow women to make choices concerning their own bodies and force men to be fucking dads instead of allowing them to just obfuscate from their responsibilities and get jobs where they're paid primarily under the table to avoid child support.
Yeah, right. So we're all just fucking chilling out next to the radio. We fucking win it. We're fucking cocked and all fucking high and shit. We're like, yeah, we got the tickets. We're going to the fucking Motley Crue barbecue, right? You get to have barbecue with them, hang out with them behind stage, all this shit, right? So we're like, oh, fucking cool.
So we're at the
We win
barbecue.
like a
And we're like, yeah, we're the fucking Motley Crue, dude.
fucking cool.
They're late.
So we're at the
Their fucking
barbecue.
plane or something
And
got
we're like, yeah, we're
delayed.
the fucking
So
Motley
we're like,
Crue,
oh,
dude.
cool. Maybe we'll
They're
just
late.
get to go fucking hang out
plane or something got
backstage.
delayed.
Or they'll
So
come
we're
in
like,
real
oh, cool.
quick, say
Maybe we'll
what's
just
up.
get to go fucking hang out
Those
backstage.
motherfuckers walk by
Or they'll
time
come
and
in real
leave.
quick, say
Fucking
what's
Vince Gill,
up.
they just threw up a peace
No
sign.
problem.
Like,
Those
yo,
motherfuckers
Guys, I
walk
want to
by
point out
time
they've
and
been
leave.
live for
Fucking
over an
Vince Gill
hour
just
and
threw
only
up a
have
peace sign.
1,000
Like,
likes.
yo, what's up? And then kept walking. I was like, you fucking piece of shit, dude. I'm like, motherfucker, we got our tickets. We're here
If y'all don't
waiting.
start tapping this
So the radio
goddamn
station's like,
screen,
oh,
what do
we
you
got
mean I've been
swag
live
and
for an
shit.
hour
We're
and
so
only
sorry.
have
We're
11,000?
also gonna hop you up to the front row.
Yeah.
So me and my buddy,
Hi,
Tom, we
gentlemen.
were
How are
fucking
we?
drunk as a
We're
skunk,
telling
dude. I was
Vince
like,
Gill to go
we're
fuck
getting
off, dude.
thrown the
It was
fuck out of here.
fucking wild, dude. What's going on, Doug? How are you?
I'm well. How are
We're
you?
in the front row telling
We're
Vince,
doing great.
we're telling Vince Neil to go
Hi,
fuck off.
how
dude.
you
It was,
doing?
it
No, I'm
was
just
fucking
kidding.
wild, dude. What's going on, Dark? How are you?
I saw the background here, and so I wanted to chime in as a Democratic socialist. So special elections since 2024. Are you saying Democrats have cheated on every single one?
I would say most definitely.
Do we have any evidence of this?
Mail-in ballot boxes.
Special elections.
everywhere.
Okay, so do you know how mail-in ballots are
I would say
counted?
most definitely.
Yeah, I really
Do you have any
don't.
evidence of this?
Maybe through
Mail-in ballot boxes.
third
everywhere.
source, third party.
Okay, so do
Okay,
you know how
so
mail-in
so
ballots are
first and
counted?
foremost, they check the envelope to make
Yeah,
sure that it's
maybe
postmarked for the date of
maybe
the election or
through,
before the date of the election.
Third
So it has to
source,
count,
third
right?
party.
Even if it comes the day after the
first
election.
and foremost, they check the envelope to make sure that it's postmarked for the
What
date
was
of
the-
the
what are you
election
talking
or
about?
before the date
What
of the
about the
election.
ballot
So it
boxes
has
that
to
were
count,
just
right?
destroyed?
Even if it comes the
Maybe
day
the
after the
ones
election.
Destroyed, burned.
What, this year?
Well, when Trump, yeah.
Are you talking about the 2024 election?
Yeah.
Great. So you think those only contained votes for Donald Trump who won the presidency in them?
Most likely.
You think they oh so hold on. Wait. Your argument is that most likely the mail-in ballots that Donald Trump told his base not to use, more likely than not, were only for Donald Trump.
More than likely, it could be. But
Do you
why
have-
were they burned?
But they could have been for Kamala Harris.
It could be, but why were they burned?
Well, that's a great question. I hope whoever did that is held to some accountability. I'm asking how Democrats cheat in the elections.
Ballot boxes.
So because a citizen sets a match on fire and puts it in a ballot box, that's the Democrats cheating?
Also other means too. I mean,
What's the logic here?
Didn't we think about one time, Triple J, that we were going to get a van, rent a van, and
Match on fire
if
and
we
put
had
it
an
in a
ID, we could just
How
What's
many?
the logic?
Didn't we think about one time, Triple J, that we were going to get a van, rent a van, and means we had an ID, we could just go pick up all individuals that we
What
wanted
are
to,
you
so
even
we could
talking
fucking vote.
about?
Although they didn't have an ID, we just had a vote. Wasn't that going out in California?
just
Am I
said it.
mistaken?
Or did I stutter
What
throughout
are
the
you
whole thing?
even talking about?
How does California confirm people confirm the people in California are voting?
How does California
So, okay, so I'll take that as an I don't know. So first you have
They
to
set the model for the rest of the United States, don't they?
what?
So okay, so I'll take
Do
that
they
as
or
an
do
I
they
don't
not set
know.
the model for the
So
rest of the
I
first
don't
United
you
know.
have
They set the
When it comes to
model for the rest of
voting?
the United States, don't they?
what?
Isn't that what Pelosi
Do they or
said?
do they not set the
I
model for
have
the
no
rest of the
idea. I
United
don't really
States?
pay attention to
When
Pelosi.
it
I
comes
think
to
she should be
voting?
voted out. She's too old to even be
Isn't that what
alive, like to
Pelosi
even
said?
exist.
I have no idea. I don't
So
really
anyway,
pay
like I was
attention to
saying,
Pelosi. I think
the
she should
way
be voted
that
out. She's
votes
too old
are
to
counted
even
in
be
California
alive. Like,
is
she's
you have to
So
go
anyway,
to
like I
like
was
a polling
saying,
station or you get like a
are counted in California. Is you have to go to
for explaining how they count the votes.
Can't go too deep into that here.
So then why do you have this background up if you don't want to discuss it?
Well, because you guys, because if you don't win, you never win regardless
Why
of.
do you have this
You just
background
cheats
up?
regardless of anything.
What evidence do you have of
You
that?
sue everybody.
You don't win.
You sue.
never
Listen,
win
you just sue
regardless of-
everybody. You sue
You just
happy.
cheats regardless
It doesn't
of
matter
anything.
what it is. You
You
guys
sue,
just hate
you
this
sue
country.
everybody.
You're
You sue,
full of
listen,
hate
you
and
just sue
disdain.
everybody.
It's
You
crazy.
sue happy.
So this is all based on
It doesn't
vibes.
matter what it is. You guys just hate this
No, it's
country.
based
You
on
have-
truth. It's based
you're
on
full of
fact.
hate and disdain.
So show me a source.
So this is all based on
Hold on a
vibes.
minute. Hold on a minute.
No, it's based on truth. It's based
We
on
are
fact.
in the,
You know, we have
Show me
projects
a
to
source.
make. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
150th anniversary of this
We
wonderful
are
country.
in the process
We're afforded freedom coming up to 250,
of
okay?
this wonderful
Guys,
we're afforded freedom coming up. Okay.
250 years of freedom. Let's make it look good. But you know
Going
what?
in and out.
The minute the man starts to do projects to clean up our
Let's
city,
make it.
our
Let's make it
capital
look
of the
good.
United
But
States,
you know what?
we gotta,
the man
you
starts to
guys
go
gotta
through
go to
projects
court.
to
You
clean
gotta
up our
sue for
city,
this. You gotta
our
sue for
capital
that.
of the United
You gotta
States.
sue for
We
this.
gotta. You guys gotta go to court. You gotta sue for this. You gotta sue.
So
for
there's
that.
actually an
You
entire
gotta sue
study
for
on
that.
election fraud, and since 1982, there's been 1,620
So there's
convictions
actually an entire
for election fraud throughout the United
fraud,
States.
and since 1982, there's been
Throughout the United
1,620
States.
convictions
I told
for
you
election
about
fraud throughout the
election
United
fraud here.
States.
Don't do it.
the United States.
Don't do
Throughout
it.
the United States.
Told you don't do
Told you
All I
don't
said
do
was
it,
throughout the
stupid.
United States. All I said was throughout the United States. Isn't that weird? Guys, how
I
they
didn't
have
laugh
this
loud.
background up,
Fucking
but they
moron.
don't want to talk about it,
Fucking moron.
and now they just want to insult? That's
Because
crazy.
they got nothing. They're all full of shit. Her and all their friends are full of shit. They destroy this fucking country. This dude's cleaning it up. You can't.
Here you go, guys.
And this bitch. And whatever happens, happens. That stupid bitch roams around here reading fucking posts all day and wanting to fight over fucking TikTok bullshit. Or I'm sorry, every fucking propaganda piece instead of seeing fucking reality. Fucking.
Not a
twat.
piece
Right.
of evidence. Not a single.
Right.
They're about to get flagged for harassment and bullying with all the names.
They don't understand that they're losing on economic strain, border security, cultural shifts,
Are we're losing?
democratic institutions
Wow,
are
that's
going
news
down.
to me, chat. I didn't realize we were losing.
Economic performances are going down according to them. Social data set. I mean, the whole. They're all just pissed off because they're getting certain things taken away from them, or certain
Look, guys, just for the record, I didn't realize we were losing.
not the- it's not-
But
It was a
let's
whole thing.
check it out.
The dude took a place that was fucking deteriorating.
Right.
Dude, it's like if I walked into your house, dude, and you had shit on the floor.
Right now, the polls are saying that
breaking
we're going to
off
have a
the walls.
Democratic House and a Democratic
That
Senate, is
fucking
what
shit
the
in
betting
toilet.
markets are saying.
And you said
Democratic House, Democratic Senate,
Come on
but
in.
it's
Come into
closely
my
followed with a
house.
Democratic House, Republican Senate. 47,
Right.
40 to 37%.
And you're
Right,
like,
and I'm
what
gonna
the
say
fuck,
this,
dude?
and
Like,
I gotta say this, and I gotta eat. It says right now,
Wild.
nationwide, the Democratic Party currently holds a favorable rating of roughly 38 to 41%. That's it. That's not very good. It's not very high. Anyways, I gotta go. I
Get
gotta
it.
eat.
Lead up, kid. Talk to you in a little bit.
Yeah.
So he said 35 to 40% for Republicans, right? Or for Democrats.
Down, like usual,
But
shithole.
the Republican
Fucking
Party's
private
favorability is
Skip a little
39%.
drinking. I want to say something.
39% favorable to 56% unfavorable, yielding a net negative rating of approximately negative 17 for the Republican Party. They booted me, so I can't show them that. They're not going to let me back up.
I'm cooking dinner and feeding the kids.
Watch this,
I
hold
ate,
on.
like a really late lunch. I'm not
Republican
eating.
Party approval rating.
Well, that's what I'm going
39%.
Right now. I'm going to eat right now, too, just like everybody else.
I made a bunch of eggs and potatoes for me and my husband since it was my day off at like 2 o'clock. So I'm like not hungry.
I commented it.
Almond milk. That's why you're fucked up, Jess. Almond milk fucks you up, you know?
Peanut butter, currently, the Trump administration,
Yeah.
the Republicans have all three branches of government. So,
Emma, you want to come up here and talk normal shit when I asked you? I would have kept you up here, but you got to be fucking stupid. You got to play dumb games.
I was showing you a real study. You have feelings, bro.
You guys are horrible people. You really are.
You showed that
You
by
don't see it.
crashing out.
Don't see that you're the problem.
And calling me
You
names.
screwed up our education system.
Did
you
we?
screwed up fucking Washington, D.C. You screwed up healthcare in this country. I'm going to keep going. Everything you guys touch, you turn to shit.
And if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning.
If you ain't cheating,
That's how it
you ain't
fucking
winning.
works with you people.
That's how it fucking
You
works.
have nothing. You have nothing.
You have nothing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Or safe space.
So why do blue states have better education outcomes than red states? They do.
This is not yours.
The best states for education are Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York.
Outcomes than
With your policies,
They
that
do.
destroyed the
Can you name a policy?
Education are Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York.
With your policies,
Fuck it up,
you've
own
destroyed
bullshit.
the
Can you
education.
name a
If it's the
policy?
fucking DEI,
if it's
I
a
can
fucking
feel what I want to
college
feel when you go to
system,
fucking
you
school and they do that
fucked it up,
bullshit.
own bullshit.
Just keep adding
If
up.
it's the fucking
Can you name a policy that fucked up the education
When you go to
system?
fucking school and they do that bullshit.
Yeah.
Just keep adding up.
Can you name a policy that fucked up the education system?
All the fucking nonsense you did. Yeah.
It's an extra fucking stupid policy that you wrote about how you feel, your feelings, all the fucking nonsense you
That
guys
protects
wrote.
the privacy of student education
You
records?
sit out here with
How you
fucking
What?
feel,
bullshit.
your feelings,
You do.
all the fucking nonsense.
Do you even know what FERPA is?
You sit out here.
I just signed one the other
sit
day,
out here
dummy,
with
yes.
fucking
So it just protects
Dude.
student education records, sir.
Do
What do
you
you
know
mean?
what FERPA is?
It does not. Read it deeper.
I just signed one
The
other day,
Family
dummy,
Education
yes.
Rights and
It just
Privacy Act, known as
protects
FERPA, is a
student
U.S. federal
education
law
records,
that
sir.
protects the privacy of student education
does not.
records.
Read it as it, when you
It applies to all
Family
educational
Education
agencies and
Rights and Privacy Act,
institutions
known as
institutions that
FERPA,
receive
is a
funding from the
federal
U.S.
law that
Department
protects the privacy
of
student
Education.
Read it as
When you
it
read
when
the
you
form,
Crashing
it
out,
says
sir.
she gives it to you.
Institutions
Read the
institutions
form
that receive
instead
funding
of
from the
the
U.S.
act.
Department of
The
Education.
AI is gonna flag your live for harassment, bullying by calling names. You know that, right?
And then
I'm
The
not listening to
AI
that.
is gonna
Talk
flag
for
your
yourself.
live.
I'm just letting you know. I don't want you to get flagged, brother, because you'll blame me for it.
Right?
I'm not calling you another name.
I just
Talk
don't
to
want to be
yourself,
blamed
yourself,
for
I'm
you
just letting you know
crashing
I don't
out.
want you to get flagged, brother, because you'll blame me
I've
for
already
it.
been.
Like, what is
I
that,
just
guys?
don't want
What's
to be blamed
happening?
for you crashing out.
I don't know.
I haven't called that man a single
Like,
name,
what
haven't
is
been
that, guys?
disrespectful
What's
at all,
happening?
but because I brought up a study, suddenly I'm a twat and all kinds of
I
names,
haven't
and you
called
guys
that
are
man
just
a
cool with
single
that?
name, haven't been disrespectful at all, but because I brought up a study, suddenly I'm a twat and all kinds of names. and
Rochelle,
guys are
do you
just
agree
cool
with how the
that?
host talks to women? How would you feel if he spoke to you that
Oh,
way?
I don't give a shit. That's not my responsibility.
But how would you feel if he
Rochelle,
spoke
do
to
you
you
agree
that
with
way,
how the
Rochelle?
host talks to
I don't
women?
care. I don't
How
let
would you
you
feel if
guys
he spoke
calling
to
me
you
a
that
cunt
way?
and fat bitch every day affect me like it does you.
How would you feel if he spoke to you that
Well,
way?
that's the
Rochelle?
thing. I hold people accountable for saying those things to any
Okay,
woman,
well, there's
including
a
you.
whole lot of liberals on TikTok that come up here every
Well,
day.
that's the
I got
thing. I
a
hold
cunt
people accountable
counter.
for saying those things to
Okay,
any
Name
woman,
one.
including
Name one,
All
Rochelle.
day.
That come up
These
here
two
every day.
gentlemen that are
I
on
got
this
a cunt
panel
counter.
can attest to it.
Sure.
Name
So,
one.
so
Name
name
one.
one so I can hold him
Hey,
accountable for you,
These
Rochelle.
two gentlemen that are on this panel
Fucking
can
memorize
But
their
I have a
names.
cunt counter.
The
So name one so I can hold him
we're
accountable
not
for
the
you,
ones
Rochelle.
that have
you know
our
what?
feelings hurt over somebody.
You know what? You know what?
I have a
You know
cunt
what I'll do?
We're
counter.
not the
Sure.
I will
snowflakes, so
count for
we're
you.
not
Next
the
time I
ones
see you, I'll
that
let
have
you
our
know and I'll
feelings
have names
hurt
for
over
you.
something
You know what?
the
You
same
know
Sure,
what?
and I can
You know
hold
what
I can
I'll
hold
do?
them accountable because
I will
I
count
think
for you.
nothing is
Next
ever
time
gonna
I
get
see you, I'll
done if
let
we
you
don't
know
hold
and I'll
each
have
other
names for you.
accountable for bad behavior,
Sure.
especially like
I can hold them
misogyny and the
accountable because
patriarchy,
I
right?
think nothing is ever going to
We
get
don't
done
care.
if we don't hold each other
I mean, do you
accountable
want to have a
for bad
conversation or do
behavior,
you
especially
just
like
not care?
misogyny and the patriarchy, right?
I'm trying to read through
I mean,
this
do you want to
thing.
have a conversation or
Yeah, I
do you
can
just
see why
not
there's
care?
8 people in
find
here.
the actual form, Judge. Where do I find
I'm
the
trying to
form?
read through this
I'll
thing.
get the. I will send you the
Yeah,
form
I
now.
can
I will
see why
send it
they're.
to
I
you from
can't find
the
the actual
university
form,
that I had
Judge. Where do I find the
sign my
form?
child up. It's a 3-page form.
I will send you the form now sent to me from the
And you'll read
university
it.
that I
It's
had
it's there. It's the
sign my
whole
child
thing.
up.
I'll
It's a
literally
3-page form.
What do you call it? You'll
Oh,
see.
Jesus.
You'll see what it
and you'll read it.
discusss you on there.
It's the whole thing under the what do you call it? You'll see
you what.
You'll see what
Yeah, I got the
discussed
send.
you
I'll
on there.
find it.
It'll
Yeah, they
Yeah,
send
if I
it to you.
could
They
have
send
got a
it to
copy
me
of it,
directly.
I
I'll
would
get
need
it.
you
I
to
have
tell
it in
me it.
my laptop.
Yeah, I
You
got it
discussed
right
it
here.
with. I'll
Let's see if
find
this
it.
is it right
Yeah,
here.
they
Hold on,
send
I
it to
may
you.
have
They
it.
send it to me directly. I'll get it. I have it in my on my laptop. I'll get it
You
over
said
here.
you had to like you had to fill
This is it
something
right here.
out. Hold on, I may have it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. You said you had to fill something out.
It's a release.
Oh,
It has to do with
yes.
mental health. It also has
So
to do
let's
with
see.
gender on there. Recognizing who you are.
It's a release. It has to do with mental health. It also has
So
to do
here's
with gender on there.
here's a parent
Recognizing who
guide.
you are. It's a full questionnaire. Yeah.
Here's a parent guide.
You have
full
to
thing.
fill out
It's a
now.
full. It's a full.
Here's a parent guide to the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Let's see. This is gives these rights to custodial and non-custodial parents alike,
Guide to the Family
unless there's a
Educational
court
Rights and
order,
Privacy
legally
Act.
binding document, or state law that specifically
Let's
provides
see.
the
This
contrary. When a
gives these
student
rights
reaches
to
18 of
custodial
age
and
or attends the
non-custodial
institution of
parents alike,
post-secondary education of
unless
any
there's a
age,
court order,
he or
legally
she
binding
becomes
document,
the
or state
eligible
law that
student.
specifically
Why does
provides
it
the
take
contrary. When
15
a
to
student
20
reaches 18
minutes
of
to
age or attends the
complete?
institution of post-secondary education of any age,
Shouldn't this
he or
just be
she
like a
becomes the eligible
one-page?
student.
Usually
There we
takes
go. My
15 to 20
signature.
minutes to complete.
Exactly. What a fucking
Shouldn't this just be
check
like
a
a
box.
one-page,
This takes
I can
15
release
to
my
20 minutes to
info?
fill out this
Exactly.
supposed release
Put a
form.
fucking signature, check a
I
box.
mean, that's
This
wild.
takes 15 to 20 minutes to fill out this supposed release form. I mean, that's wild.
Let's see. Let's see. I mean, do you not think your student should have a right to privacy, though? They're an adult, right?
I mean, do you not think your student should have a right to
So
privacy?
children,
though?
so it literally says right here, on the parent's guide to FERPA, like right. So the I just had this up. Give me just a second.
So it
to
literally
pull
says
this
right
back
here
up.
on the
The parent guide to FERPA,
like, right? So
the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, provides certain rights for parents regarding their children's education records. FERPA gives these rights to custodial and non-custodial parents alike, unless there is a court order, legally binding document, or state law that specifically provides to the contrary. When a student reaches 18, which is the host student, right? So yeah, so the parents still have access to educational records as long as the child's under 18. The host is talking about a child going to college.
Right. So yeah, so the parents still have access.
So therefore, they have their own right to privacy. You don't have a right to anything anymore. They're grown.
At 17, yeah.
Yeah, so they're grown.
Yeah, when you fill the paperwork out, it's a nice long thing about a bunch of bullshit. There's real bullshit there on the top. When you get in depth with the university attitude,
One thing about a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, it has your little bullshit there on the top.
Why does it have
When you
extra
get in
shit in
depth
it all
with
the
the
time?
Like what?
university attitude,
Exactly.
it would
Like I
concern
said,
you a
I
little
will
bit. It really would.
I don't have my
Why does it have
laptop with me.
extra shit in it?
Next
all the
time we
time?
circle back, you'll get a copy of it.
Like I said, I will
When you sit there,
prove it to you. I don't
I
have my
want you
laptop
to,
with me. Next
say,
time we circle back,
right,
you'll
something's
get a
wrong with
copy of
this.
it. And
I probably
when you
won't
sit
agree
there,
with what your
I want
version of
you
wrong
to,
is.
Of course you won't. You'll come up with some liberal
right,
bullshit
something's
like you
wrong
always
with
do.
this.
Just to
Liberal bullshit. Well, so for example, right? You said mental health.
Of course you won't. You'll come up with some
You
liberal
that
bullshit
like
you
you
always
having
do.
access
Just
to an
defend
adult
it.
person's mental health records would be a violation of HIPAA.
Like you having access to an adult person's mental health records would be a violation of HIPAA.
Would it not be a violation of HIPAA?
listen.
Would it not be a violation of HIPAA?
You're not the university. This is part of the entrance process.
Uh-huh.
In the paperwork that is handed to you.
You're not the university. This
It's
is part
in
of
there.
the entrance
You can't
process.
attend if you don't fill it the
You're
fuck
the
out.
paperwork that is
So
handed
guess what?
to you.
There you go.
It's in there. You can't
Again,
attend
though,
if you
would
don't
I
fill
don't
would
the
care
fuck
if you
out.
tell me it's against
So
HIPAA.
guess what?
Listen,
There
you
you
ain't
go.
the end all be
I'm
all.
not telling you, I'm
Again,
asking
though,
you.
would
I
You
don't
are.
care
You're
if you
like,
tell me it's
that's a
against
minor
HIPAA.
violation of this.
Listen,
That's a
You
question.
ain't the
You
end all
speak
be
to
all.
the,
You're
you
the
speak
one.
to the university and tell
You
them
are.
they're breaking
You're
the
like,
fucking law
that's
then.
a part of
Okay?
violation. This,
But
that,
they're
and the
not,
other.
though. They said
You
in
speak
FERPA
to
they
the-
can't give you mental
you
health
speak to the
documents,
university
correct?
And tell them they're breaking the fucking law then, okay?
You
But
get
they're
the
not,
paper and
though.
you
They said
understand.
in
So
FERPA
therefore
they
they're
can't
adhering to the law?
Just tell me differently what it says on there. Know what it read.
You'll get
know
the
what it
paper and you
signed.
understand. You're
Get
not going
over
to
it.
take and tell me differently. You're not
Except
gonna
you
tell me
can't
differently
prove
what it says
anything
on
that you're
there.
saying right now.
Know what
I'm
it
not
read,
going back
know
and
what it
forth with
signed.
you proving and
Get
your
over it.
bullshit right now. Shut the fuck up.
Except you can't prove anything that
FERPA
you're saying right now.
Form
going back and forth and
University.
proving your
Let's
fucking
just
bullshit
let's
right now. Shut
Google
the
it, I
fuck up.
guess. So release of student request for release of student information. Are we close?
Google it, I guess.
Do you remember what the form
So
was
release
called?
of student request for release of student information. Are we close? Do you remember what the form was called?
Man, this is exhilarating.
Man, this is exhilarating.
Bum, bum, bum. So just nobody else has nothing. You guys just hang out here in silence together.
I don't know what else you want to talk about. You got something else
just
to talk
nobody
about?
else
I
has
don't know
nothing. You
anything
guys
about
just
this
hang
woman.
out here in
He's busy,
silence
so he can't
together.
send it right now. I don't
Yeah,
know what else
I'm
you
sitting
want
here
to
listening to
talk
her.
about.
She wants to explain. She's an old, so I prefer to listen to her. I would like you to monologue about something.
Yeah, we could, I'm sitting here listening to her. She wants to. She's an old so I prefer to listen to her. I would like you to monologue about something. Go
I was
ahead.
just
I'm trying to
asking
eat,
you a
so I listen
question.
to you. Flap your fucking gums. Go flap away
The
like you do
crash
there.
out
Flap,
is
flap, flap.
crazy, babe. I can see why there's 10 people in here. You're doing a real good job.
Don't worry about that. I'm worried about fucking like you.
Crash
You
out
have
is
fucking 600
crazy,
people.
babe. I can see why there's
Fucking
10
make
people
yourself
in here.
valid.
You're
I
doing
don't
a
really
real
give a shit.
good job.
I mean, I only have about
I'm
100
worried about
watching right
fucking
now, to
like
be
you. You
fair.
gotta have fucking 600 people to fucking make yourself valid. I don't really
Oh,
give a shit.
hey, chat, you heard it.
About
We're
100 watching
grifting. Go to
right
the
now.
link tree in my bio and donate to any of the
You're
links.
grifting.
Donations are appreciated, never
Hey,
required.
chat,
Give
you
it up,
heard
chat.
We're
Let's
grifting.
go.
Go to the link tree in my bio and donate to any of the links.
He said it, not
Donations
me.
are appreciated, never
How
required.
many
Give it up,
mouses and
chat.
keyboards
Let's
have you
go.
gone through?
Mouse none?
He said
Why?
it, not me.
You probably broke them. They
How
fucking
many
click away all day.
mouses and keyboards have you gone through?
No, I actually take care of my
None?
stuff.
Why?
They probably
How,
broke
how,
them.
how
They
many
fucking
holes have
click
you had to
away
fill
all
in
day.
your house
Fuck.
from punching drywall, Chad?
No, I actually
I don't
take
put
care of
things
my
in
stuff.
the face. I don't do drywall.
Oh,
How
so
many
we're
holes
just
do you have to fill
physically
in your house
violent.
from
Got
punching
it.
drywall, Chad?
No, I don't
Yeah,
punch
we
you in
went
the I'll
live
punch you in the
yesterday or
face.
the
I don't
day
do
before,
drywall.
and
Oh, so we're just physically
I'm pretty sure it was you.
Mm-hmm.
She was on
Were you on a
Judges.
live yesterday or the day
No,
before?
she was on
And
some other live, and she said something
I'm pretty
about
sure it was
some
you.
guy's face or
She
something
was
like
on
that.
Judges.
What?
Yes, that
No,
was
Not
on
she
me.
was on
Judges.
some other live
Oh,
and
was
she said
it?
something about
Yeah, no, that
some
wasn't me.
guy's face
I'm
or
married as
something.
hell.
Facts were
Wow.
up.
No,
Yeah,
I
that was on
thought you were
Judges.
arguing with the
Oh, was
guy
it?
Yeah, no, that
about
wasn't me.
getting,
That was
I'm
when
you
married
know
as
her
what?
hell.
arguing with
No,
Fluffy.
no,
and
I
Judges.
no, but you were arguing
Yeah,
with
no,
the
I would not
guy
say that. That wasn't
about
me.
getting,
Well,
you
Yeah,
know
you
what?
said
Arguing with
something
Fluffy,
about
I
you make
Yeah, Fluffy, yep.
Maga Dick
Yeah, no, I would not
happy
say
or
that.
something. I
No,
don't
no.
remember.
Nope, surely not
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
You said
No,
it
something
was.
about
no.
you make Maga Dick
Okay, so then
happy or
get the
something.
clip,
I don't
Rochelle.
remember.
Get the
No,
clip and play
Somebody
it.
else
Yeah,
said
yeah,
something
yeah,
about I don't know.
no.
Do I have
So I'm way too vanilla for any of that. I'm way too vanilla for any of
Somebody else
that.
said something about I don't know.
Because
Somebody else said
I'm
something about
way
you
too vanilla for any
made
of that.
Maga Dick
I'm
happy
way too
or
vanilla for
I
something.
thought it was on
something.
somebody else's
Like,
live.
Because somebody else
Maga
said
Man's
something
dream.
about you've
Oh,
Maga
so
Dick
okay,
happy
so
or
no,
something.
no, okay, so Rochelle, you're misquoting.
Yeah.
You're misquoting what I said. So no, I got you, babe. Yeah, no, Rochelle, I totally got you. So we were talking about so a lot of people give me flack on here for being a stay-at-home mom for some reason, which is like wild work because in my opinion, I'm a Republican man's wet dream. I sit at home all day bearing the children. I cook, I clean, I make 90% of all the food found in my pantry from scratch. The only thing MAGA men don't like about me is I have opinions that don't agree with them.
I make 90% of all the food found in my pantry from scratch.
Well, that's what I said. That's all that was.
MAGA men don't like about me is I have opinions that don't
No,
agree
there was
with
a bunch of back and forth. I don't remember all the things that were said.
Oh,
Well,
man,
that's what I
forgot
said.
about
That's all
that.
that
it was
was.
on somebody else's live.
No, there was a bunch of back and forth. I don't remember all the things that were said. Live got taken down after all
I thought it was on somebody else's live.
No, that was Judges. When I said that, because the Mr. LL is what I called
Yeah.
Lunch lady.
when I said that, I'm not getting a warning. Mr. LL is what I called
Oh, lunch lady.
I'm not getting.
So the TikTok AI will flag you if you say someone's name followed up
warning
by
for
like an
saying
insult. The TikTok AI automatically thinks you're trying to
So
like
the
bully and
TikTok
harass.
AI will flag you if you
Yeah.
say
So when she
someone's
said that
name
person's name and
followed
then
up
called
by,
them an
like,
LL,
insult,
the TikTok
the
AI was
TikTok
like,
AI
nah,
automatically thinks you're
and
trying to
like,
bully and
yeah.
harass.
So
Seriously?
Yeah. So when she said that person's name and then called
it's
them an
it's
LL,
very
the TikTok AI was
very
like,
touchy. I think that's part of the transition from
It's
the server, the Chinese server to the American ones
I
personally.
think that's part of the transition.
But I can't prove or deny that.
The Chinese server to the American ones personally.
Kiki, thank you so much for the $1.58 for dollar and change for the change train for change. I love you so much.
Kiki, thank you so much for the $1.58 for dollar and change for the
Got what? Thank
for
yous?
change.
Have you not thanked a person before in your life?
You guys got that down pat, don't you?
Well, I mean, it's not hard.
Got what? Thank yous? Have you not thanked a person before in your life?
I definitely
So
have.
we do over on my lives, we
Glad to
do
say
the
more
dollar
about
and
the
change
whole-
train for change. And basically it's where someone donates $1 and their favorite cent to force me to do math because math is fucking woke, and I wish Donald Trump would write an executive order abolishing math.
Someone donates $1 and their favorite cent to
but
force me to
yeah.
do math because math is fucking woke, and I wish Donald Trump would write an executive order
No, not
abolishing
really.
math. But yeah.
Do you talk about our? Do you talk
All right,
about our
guys. Well, this
creators?
has been
No, not
exhilarating,
really.
I guess.
I asked you what you wanted to talk about.
I mean, I don't. I
All right,
like.
guys,
Well, I came up to talk about the prompt and then got yelled at and called a twat for talking about the prompt. So I don't really know. I was prepared for a conversation that's not happening.
And then got yelled at and called a twat for talking about the prompt. So I don't really know. I was prepared
We
for a
talked about it
conversation
earlier, like
that's not
maybe a couple
happening.
hours ago, and his other account got shut down.
So can we get like another prompt,
We can't talk
like
about it. We
host,
talked
so
about
that
it
way maybe
earlier,
we
like,
know what
maybe
to
a couple
talk
hours
about?
ago,
Because
his
like,
other account got shut down.
you know what I mean?
So can we get like another prompt, like host, so that way maybe we know what to talk about? Because like,
You guys just
you know what I mean?
Fine.
Okay, so prove it.
I didn't say anything
Prove
about elections or anything. You guys just
Prove it. What evidence do you have?
So prove it.
Fucking
I'm in
it.
court
What are you
cases
talking
right
about?
now. I'm in Washington, D.C.
Prove
for
it.
the,
What
for the
evidence do
President
you
of
have?
the United States trying to beautify
How many
D.C.
court cases right
That
now?
has nothing to do with
All right?
cheating.
Washington D.C. for the President of the United States trying to beautify.
What do
D.C.
you mean?
That
Hold
has
on.
nothing to
So
do with
track
cheating.
Trump's court cases.
You never win.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
this is actually really funny. So here's some legal challenges Donald Trump.
So track
We're suing
Trump's
for the
court
full-
cases.
We're suing.
So this is actually really funny. So here's some legal
Yeah, we're
challenges.
suing. We're suing for the pool. We're suing UFC.
So far, right? Hold on, it's loading here. There are 831 court cases that are active right now.
So
The
so
plaintiff,
far, right,
the plaintiff, which is not the Trump
there are
administration, has
831
won
court cases that are
272
active
of
right
those
now.
cases.
The plaintiff.
So to say that like
which
we
is
we
not the
never
Trump
win without
administration,
cheating
has
is
won
weird because you don't cheat in court
272
cases.
of those cases.
Wow.
So to say that like
Can you prove
we
it?
never win without cheating is weird.
I know facts. You want to just click your keyboard.
Can you prove it?
Well, these are just feelings that you have,
You want to
sir.
just click your keyboard. Like, well, you ain't 400 here. 200
These are just
When your
feelings
Hakeem
that you have,
Jeffries
sir.
goes and talks shit about Trump going to the Knicks game,
When you're
he knows nothing about the Knicks. He's never been
when your
there.
Hakeem Jeffries goes and talks shit about Trump going to the
Been there
Knicks
way before
game,
he's president.
he knows
Okay,
nothing
so
about
quick
the
question.
Knicks. He's never been there.
Okay, here, quick.
He's
Been there way before he's president.
So quick question, right? So Donald Trump ran on bringing manufacturing back to the States and making it easier to find blue collar work. So PepsiCo has teamed up with a company called Gatic, and they have now launched 4 driverless trucks in Arizona, Arkansas, and Texas. How do you feel about CDL drivers having their jobs taken from them by AI?
Arkansas and Texas. How do you feel about CDL drivers having their jobs taken from them by
English
AI?
people in there that don't know when they stop at a DOT stop.
So you don't feel bad for those truck drivers who voted for Trump?
There that don't know when they stop at a DOT stop.
When they're pulled over by a
You don't feel bad for those truck drivers who voted for Trump.
I've seen plenty of them out here.
So you don't feel bad. So you don't feel bad that these people who voted for Trump are going to get fucked over by Trump making sure we couldn't regulate AI for 10 years.
No.
So you don't feel bad that these people who voted
Donald
for
Trump did in the big beautiful bill. He made it to where we are not allowed to regulate AI for 10 years.
Nobody fucked them over. they fucked themselves over.
Donald Trump did in the big beautiful bill. He made it.
It's
where
now
we are not
taking
allowed to
people's
regulate AI
jobs
for
when he
10
promised you more jobs. And we're losing jobs in mass.
What's your problem with it?
We saved 4
It's
families'
now
lives.
taking people's jobs when he promised you
Sleeping
more jobs.
truckers running
And we're
people's
losing
jobs.
jobs.
Or people
in
that,
mass.
you know, like the
We
one that
saved
happened
4
in Florida,
families'
the guy
lives.
took a fucking
You
left
think it's
turn.
going to stop at 4?
Truckers
Truckers
the guy
running
that took
people
a
over,
left-hand turn
or
on
people
the
that,
fucking
you know, like the
highway,
one that happened
and
in
cut the
Florida,
roof
the guy
off the
took a
fucking
fucking
van and
left-hand
took
You think it's
the
gonna
family
stop
out
at
that were
4?
going
Like
to
the guy
Disney
that took a
World.
left.
You think it's going to stop at 4?
Yeah, it's gonna
and
stop
cut
that
the
kind of
roof
shit.
off the
Yeah.
fucking van and took
So-
the whole
America,
family out that were going to
as
Disney
a
World.
tow truck
You think
driver,
it's
I
gonna
have to
stop at
strongly
4?
disagree with you on that. AI is not necessarily as
America,
strong
I look
as
as a tow truck
you know, a
driver.
lot
I
of people
have
may
to
claim
strongly
it to
disagree with
be.
you on
If
that.
I'm being
AI is
completely
not
honest with you, AI
necessarily
still
Guys,
is
remember, it's $10
as,
to pop it
you know, a
off,
lot
but
of
it's
people
also
may claim
$10
it
to get me
be.
out of
If
line.
I'm being completely honest with you,
When
AI
I lived in
still
Florida,
isn't
that was probably
perfect
one of
in
the
every which
most
way, shape, or
disgusting
form.
things
And as
that
far
I've
as I'm
ever seen in
concerned
my
with that
entire
Florida
life, and it
Turnpike, mind you, I
hurt
live in
me
Florida. That was
very
probably
much
the
so.
one
And
of
I
the
know a
most
lot of people that
disgusting things
who are
that I've
heavy
ever seen
record
in my
tow truck
entire
drivers
life,
who had
and
to
it
work that scene.
hurt me very much
It
so.
was a
And
very
I know a lot of
gruesome
people that
and
who are heavy
disgusting
record tow truck drivers who had to work that
display
scene.
of people that shouldn't
It
have
was
a
a very
CDL.
gruesome
But I
and
would also go too far as to say that
disgusting
AI shouldn't be taking that
display
either,
of people that
because it's not
shouldn't have a
necessarily
CDL.
100% perfect.
But I would also go
I
too far as
apologize
to
for
say
interrupting
that
you, Emma,
AI
but
No, you're
shouldn't be taking
fine.
the
that either,
turnpike, so that was
because it's
like
not
that's one of the
necessarily
biggest things
100% perfect.
that is
I
like
apologize
it's
for interrupting
a
you,
pet
Emma,
peeve for
but
me.
like he
Yeah.
brought up the turnpike,
You
so
know what I
that
mean?
was
No,
like that's one of the
you're totally
biggest
fine, but
things
it's not going to
that
stop at 4
is like
trucks,
it's
right? So
a
these
pet peeve
trucks.
for me.
So a truck driver
you know
in
what I mean?
14 hours can only drive 11 and has to stop for a break. They take sick days, they take vacation days,
So a
they
truck
take
driver in
what
14
70,000 a
hours
year
can
for
only
a
drive
salary.
11 and has to
These
stop for a break.
AI
They take
trucks
sick days, they take
can
vacation
run
days,
24
they
hours.
take
They get charged as they
70,000
are
a year
loaded
for
and
salary.
unloaded. They're going
These
to en
AI
masse
trucks
take over the
can run 24
CDL like
hours. They get charged
organization as a
and are
whole,
loaded
and then what are
unloaded.
those
They're
people
going to
supposed to
en
do? Just
masse
die?
take over
How
the
many of them go around their
CDL, like
logbook and cheat their logbook
organization
and
as a
cheat their
whole,
time
and
to
then
what do you
what are
call it?
those people
Or an
supposed to
electronic
do?
log
Just
or
That's
die?
not answering my question
many
as to
of
what
them
they're
go
going to
around
do when
their
they're
logbook?
unemployed.
I'm
The
answering your
logbook and
question.
cheat their
Shut
time
up
to
and
what do you
listen.
call it? Or an electronic
How about
log, or
Tracy
they don't
Morgan?
log
That's not
their
answering
sleep
my
time.
question
When the
as
guy
to what
working
they're
for
going to do when
Walmart,
they're
I'm
unemployed.
answering
the
your
truck
question.
driver
Shut
fell
up and
asleep and
listen.
went to the back of the bus
How
and
about
killed his
Tracy
friends
Morgan?
and fucked
When
him
the guy
up,
working for
right?
Walmart,
Because
the truck
he was
driver
over
fell
on his
asleep
hours
and
of
went to the back
service.
of the
So you
bus
don't care
and
about
killed
truck
his
drivers. Got
friends
it.
and fucked him up,
I worked
right?
on trucks all day. Don't
Because
tell me how the
he was over
industry
on his
works. I
hours of
understand
But
how
you
it is.
don't care about the
You're not
Don't care about
drivers.
truck drivers. Got it.
I'm asking you, what are those people going to do when they're unemployed?
The industry works. I understand it out here.
The
You
AI
don't care
system's
about the
not completely
drivers.
there. They're getting
I
there.
don't care
It's
about
gonna be
I
good.
don't.
What
I
are
don't
those
care.
people
And
going to do
when
when
it
they're
gets
unemployed?
there, all of the people
The
who
AI
have their
system's not
CDLs, when they
completely
become
there. It's
unemployed,
gonna be good.
what are they going to do?
And
You're
when
so
it gets
concerned
there,
about truck
all of
drivers,
the
go become
people
a truck
who have
driver.
their
My husband
CDLs,
has
when
a
they become
CDL, you
unemployed,
goofy.
If
what
you're
are
so
they going to
concerned,
do?
if you're so
So
concerned
what is
about
he
truck
going to
drivers,
do
become a truck
when he
driver.
no
My
longer has a
husband has a
job?
CDL,
You
you
don't have to
goofy.
get a new job.
Okay.
Doing
Get
what?
a different job.
Then.
So
That's
what
on
is
you.
he going to do?
What are you
When
gonna
he
do?
no longer
I mean,
has
look,
a
when you have
job?
your
You'll have to
CDL,
get a new
yes,
job.
you
Get a
have more
different
job
job.
opportunities.
Well,
I'm in the process of getting my
What are you
Class
gonna
A
do?
as well
Like,
I mean,
because
look,
I
when
want
you
to be
have your
heavy
CDL,
record.
yes,
That's my dream
you
goal.
have
That's what I
more
want
job
to do.
opportunities.
Good
I'm
for you,
in the
man. I
process of
appreciate
getting
you
my
letting
Class
me
A
clean
as
the
well
road. Good luck to you.
because I
No,
want to be heavy
absolutely.
record.
So,
That's
but
my dream
I
goal.
think,
That's what I
Emma,
want.
and you correct me if I'm
Good for
wrong on
you,
this,
man. I
but it's
appreciate you, man. You
I
gotta clean the
don't
roads up. Good luck to
necessarily
you.
like.
No,
I see where you
absolutely.
guys are coming
So,
from
but
with the
I think
with the illegal
Emma, and you
immigrants
correct me
and
if I'm
everything
wrong on
like
this,
that.
but
And like,
Undocumented.
for
I
example, the
don't
turnpike.
necessarily like.
You
I
know
see
what I
where
mean?
you guys are coming from with the
But
with the
think
illegal
Emma is
immigrants
more
and everything
referring
like
to
that,
the
and
American
like for
citizens
example the
that
turnpike, you know what I
could
mean?
potentially lose their job.
Look, will lose their
think
jobs.
Emma is
They
more
will lose
referring
their
to
jobs.
the
To
American
the AI
citizens
ordeal,
that
and that's one of the things
could
that concerns
potentially
me
lose
too.
their job.
Because we've seen
Yeah,
AI
to
like,
the
and
AI
here's another
ordeal,
example.
and
Waymo.
that's one of
Waymo's
the
a
things
prime
that
fucking
concerns me
example
too.
why AI isn't where
Because
it
we've
needs to
seen
fucking be at all.
AI.
So the fact that
Like,
Waymo cars
here's
are
another example.
even
Waymo's a prime
remotely on
fucking
the road
example
still
why AI
is like
isn't where it needs to fucking be
blasphemy
at
to
all.
me.
So the fact that Waymo cars are even remotely on the road still is like
I read about it in New York when
blasphemy.
taxi guys are going to be out of a job. They'll never have another job.
What does this have to do with
Taxi
CDLs?
Guess what? Those taxi drivers, guess what? Now they're in Uber. Okay, same thing with AI.
This is so America first of you.
Drivers, guess what? Now they're in Uber.
Just
Okay,
gonna
same
shift
thing
over.
with
It's gonna be a
AI. When
shift
they're
to
going to
something
shift
else.
over to
This is is so America first of you. Take all the truck drivers' jobs, chat. Take them all.
Shift over. It's gonna be a shift to something else.
This is so America first of you. Take all the truck drivers' jobs, chat. Take them all.
Yeah, listen.
The thing is that
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes. No, I did. I literally spoke about this in 2024 when the strike happened.
Now you do.
I literally spoke about this in 2024.
Like for the warehouse, that's one thing. But I'm okay with like self-loading warehouse stuff. Like I'm okay
for the warehouse,
with
that's
that. I'm
one
not
thing.
100% like, oh, this is the greatest idea
I'm
in the
okay
entire
with
world.
like self-loading warehouse stuff. Like I'm okay with that. I'm not 100% like, oh, this is the greatest idea in the entire world. Like
because,
I'm
like
okay
I've said,
with that. I'm on
it's
the
not
fence with that kind of shit.
perfect.
But what I'm
Waymo's a
not
prime
okay
example
with
of this.
is the AI self-driving trucks. Because, like I've said, it's not picture perfect. Waymo's a prime example of this. I don't know if you've seen the Waymo video.
Why do you have to insult my husband? Get on camera.
Super fat on fucking Ozempic at home with health problems. Truck drivers do. He'll be home.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that.
And then he can just be on retirement.
Like,
He'll be
even
fine.
tow
No worries.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that personally. I mean, like even tow truck drivers.
Listen, I'll give you for instance. I pulled up on a service call the other day. You got a guy in there that's fucking 400 pounds driving a truck. He woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning for a service call for
Why don't you get on camera?
That bastard couldn't go get out of the truck because his air conditioner didn't
get his fucking air conditioner working.
Because
he couldn't go get himself a room, and it stunk to fucking high heaven.
Why don't you show yourself, host? Instead of hiding behind the screen, show us what you look like.
And it stunk to fucking
Show us what you look like. Show us what you look like.
I've gone on a service call where I went to go do a jump start on a regular Geico call, and they come to find out the battery wasn't even the issue. It was just a loose connection, and I just had to tell the customer. So the frustration, I get that.
The battery wasn't even the issue. It was just a loose connection.
We work in the service industry,
so the
and we're going to get stupid calls like that. We can feel that they're stupid all they want, but to that person, it may not necessarily be a stupid service call.
Like that.
Right, instead of insulting my husband, how about you show us what you look like?
Person, it may not necessarily be a stupid service call.
Why
you know what I mean?
Instead of insulting my husband, how about you show us what you look
Why
like?
are you insulting my husband?
Get the fuck out.
Why are you insulting my husband? You've called me numerous names. You've called me numerous names. You're insulting my husband. I haven't disrespected you a single time. Not one singular time. Not one time have I insulted you. I'm just asking for some respect, man. Just respect. I've shown you respect. Why can't you show me respect?
I'm asking for some respect.
Why can't you just show the respect you've been given? Why can't you just show the respect you've been given? Why can't you just show the respect you've been given?
This is not your safe space.
No, instead, my safe space is MAGA hunting, where I had to create a safe space between you and my chat, because my chat would eat you alive.
No, instead, my safe space is MAGA hunting, where I had to create a safe space between you and my chat, because my chat would eat you alive.
Go drink a warm bottle. What's up, Smitty? How you doing? You here to support this nonsense, and you got something?
Say hi to the stream. Say hi to the stream, brother.
I don't know, the idiot down below me that wants to be cameras.
Say hi to the stream. Say hi to the stream, brother.
The people are streaming right now?
You know what
People, Jen, you get blocked. Get the fuck out of here.
You having fun with that, Smitty? You having fun with her? You guys playing together?
Smitty, he's just gonna call you a twat and tell you you're gonna get overweight in 30 years.
Stop, man. What do you got? What do you got to offer me to the conversation?
He's just gonna call you a twat and tell you you're gonna get overweight.
Shut up.
Yeah, you want to attack this? This is
Are you doing personal attacks? We can do that if we want.
We don't get offended by words. You want to say what you got to say?
Listen, man, this
You can't get offended by words when you hide. You're a coward who hides.
We don't get offended by words. You want to
Coward.
say? That's it. You say it.
Coward.
You don't sit like this, girl.
Coward.
You talked about my husband.
You're a coward who hides behind a screen.
Coward.
I don't cry my room.
Coward.
I guess I'm a coward too.
You are Raddick, you know.
You're a coward who hides behind a screen.
Yeah, what did I do wrong, Em?
You allow people to be disrespectful, Raddick. You sit in the background and you sit in these echo chambers. You learn nothing, and you allow people to do egregious things like attack for no reason when I've done nothing but be respectful.
And you allow
So yeah, Raddick, you're also a
I
coward.
will not tell him what to do. Will not be this space.
When I've done nothing but be
Coward.
Your safe zone.
Coward.
And I will not tell him what to do. That's the way this space fucking works.
Then I guess we
Stay in your safe zone.
Coward. Can we get some PAB stickers in the chat for this live over here, guys? Some PAB stickers in the chat.
Evil people, I just show my
Can we
face.
get some PAB stickers in the chat for this live over here, guys?
Look at the pussy ass bitch stickers I made for men like you.
Yeah, stickers, 7 fucking milk bottles, whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Go ahead.
Look at the pussy ass bitch stickers I made for men like you.
It's kind of true though, right?
Yeah, because they would never show their face or say this shit in real life.
I mean, it's kind of true though, right?
My face.
Yeah, because they would never show their face or say this shit in real life.
So you and your
wonder
friends
why.
can go out
I
here
wonder
and
why.
take
My
the little
face.
offensive
Blah,
language
blah,
you
blah,
use.
blah, blah. It's a lot of words for I'm a scared ass bitch.
Go out here and take the little offensive language we talk
Right.
about.
It's so weird.
Hi, Riddick.
That we'll put our faces on camera, but you won't.
Rochelle, I showed it to you. What are you talking about?
You guys are scared of us.
Rochelle, I showed it to you. What do you mean?
We will put our faces on camera, but you
Chat,
guys are scared of us.
Chat, everybody say hi to Rochelle. She's watching right now.
Chat, everybody say hi to Rochelle. She's watching right
Rochelle,
now.
I already showed in the stream. I don't know what you're trying to prove, babe.
I'm not trying to prove anything. I found it's weird as
I mean, it can be weird, but if you guys would come out of these echo chambers, I wouldn't have to create a safe space for MAGA.
No, you guys are not.
It can be weird, but if you guys would come out of these echo chambers, I wouldn't have to create a safe space for MAGA.
Because you won't come out of your safe space, America.
It's super weird that you guys won't put
You won't, though. You won't, though. You won't come out of your safe space, sir.
And I walk in and tell me no fucking shoes. I don't put shoes on. You're in my fucking space.
You won't come out of your safe space.
They booted me.
You are in my fucking space. Remember that.
We're in your
Hey, Rochelle, make sure you let your little friend know that just because he booted me doesn't mean the stream ends. The stream doesn't end just because he booted me, Queen. That's wild work. Honestly, that was a super boring discussion, and I was kind of trying to do anything I could to get out of it. Oh, because that was just like, what the fuck? I openly mentioned it so many times. So many times, and then Rochelle went, this is so weird. I just think this is so weird. It's so weird that I found this stream that you said that you were on. So weird. Honestly, that time I was fighting for my life to get booted. Since nobody in the chat was gonna save my ass, that's crazy. Y'all were just gonna let me suffer. Alright, let's see. Where is my button? We'll get rid of that. We'll put this up. Of course, we have to resize it because these are all just poorly sized fucking lives to begin with. God. It's not hard. It's a 9:16 image, guys. All right, let's listen in and see what they're saying.
The opposite.
Should be, no, it's not. Do you think that you should be dictated how many children you can have? Because they used to have the 2 kids.
Yeah, no, this guy in the top corner is literally driving a semi truck.
Because actually in 2021 they upped it to 3.
Wow,
and we all know
Tortilla.
why.
Wow.
Right? We all know what happened
because they wanted to get busy. That's why.
No, because of the sea situation. Or because of that, probably.
I mean, yeah, either way, like, I don't, what you're saying is a criticism of a system that is not communist, like decidedly not communist.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's not ridiculous. You're asserting that anybody who calls themselves a communist is that.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
No, you're totally fine. You're
No, I was
you're
gonna say.
sitting here.
Wow, I got
Remy
blocked for like no
is
reason.
asserting that anybody who
Oh,
calls
we're
themselves
weirdos?
a
Wow,
communist.
whatever will I do with my life, Smitty? Whatever will I do? I'm such a weirdo. I wanted to ask that truck driver how he feels about the driverless cars, but they blocked me. Whatever, how will I ever recover? Oh no, Rochelle, I hope you're watching. I feel so terrible that I'm a weirdo. Whatever will I do? So silly. Hello, I got an invite to come up here.
Hello again.
What?
Say hello again.
Hello, how are we?
Hello again.
I am all right, just chilling for the evening. Had some
So hello
dinner.
again.
My toddler's
Hello,
asleep.
how are we?
Looking for some
Good. How are you
debates,
doing?
you know? I am all right, just chilling for the evening. Had some dinner. My toddler's asleep. Looking for some debates,
Aren't
you know?
You're Piglet's friend, aren't you?
I'm kind of
What's
friends with
that?
Piglet, but our political views are different. I'm a radical left lunatic.
Hi, aren't you? You're
Right,
you're
she's
you're Piglet's
Right.
friend, aren't you?
She's conservative.
Right. I'm kind of friends with Piglet, but our
Piglet's cool.
political views
I'm
are
not a
different. I'm a
conservative,
radical
I'm
left lunatic. Oh, W.
Right, and she's far.
They're conservatives.
Well, she's conservative.
And they're my friends,
Right.
so I understand.
Yeah, Piglet's cool. I'm not a conservative.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Aiden. Is it Aiden
They're-
and Eli?
they're
I'm
conservatives.
always afraid I'm saying your name
And they're
wrong.
my friends, so I understand.
Yes, it is. Aiden
Hi,
and
Shannon.
Eli.
Hi, Aiden. Okay. Is it Aiden and Eli? I'm always afraid I'm saying your name wrong.
Right? Finally, somebody said it right.
Yes, it
Well, because
is
it's all
Aiden and
one
Eli.
word, so it makes it a little difficult to read.
Thank God somebody said that. I
That's
had
how I
no
feel.
clue.
I'm surprised.
Right?
For the longest
Finally,
time.
somebody said it right.
Well, because it's all one word, so it makes it a little difficult to read.
I know it's your children. I just didn't know.
That's how I felt. I was kind of stupid.
But if you know,
You don't have to do fancy brick.
I know it's your
Please.
children. I just didn't
I'll make
know.
it done between them to make it a lot easier for you, okay?
You don't have to
Come
do
on,
fancy
Okay.
brick.
A dot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I don't know why.
That's what I name my children. One of my children's name is Dot.
So,
Okay.
what are we
A
chit
dot.
chatting about?
Right now,
That's
we're
what I
talking
named my
about how to
children.
build
One of my children's name is Dot.
this retaining wall that I want.
So, what are we chit chatting about? Oh. Well, I can't
Right
help
now,
with
we're
any
talking
of
about
that.
how to build
You know,
this
just trying to figure out how
retaining
to
wall
do
that
it
I
and how to
want.
save money.
Fair
This
enough.
is showing poured
Well,
concrete,
I can't
block
help with
retaining
any of
wall.
that.
You know, just trying to figure out how
Yeah,
to
because
do
you
it
could
and
do
how to
the
save money.
hollow
This
cement
this is
block,
showing
and then you could have a
poured
truck come
concrete
in.
block retaining wall.
Well, guys, we're just gonna move on to some actual debates. So Danny, is it Deadly? To answer your question, so Burnt Piglet is a conservative on this app who actually has more moderate views than she does conservative views. We agree on a lot of things, but we just disagree on how to get there. And Piglet has actually had my back in numerous spaces in which Trump supporters try to just be absolutely disgusting to me, and so therefore, like parasocially, we get along. So. Is she somebody I'd ever have like over like at my house? No. Like, no. But like I could sit on a panel with her and have a good, and I know it's going to be a good conversation. So there's that. All right, guys, let's tap the screen, share the live. We might do a quick reset because I think I'm only going to be live for probably another hour or so before I crash the fuck out and go to sleep. Because it was a day, chat. Like, I'm so serious. So I went to the Lowe's and I had to pick up 400 pounds of fucking sand. And 0 men not a single man walking around me with my toddler in the cart was like, "Do you need help?" And like, so they stack the sand, right? And people take from the front, obviously, which makes sense. But all of the sand from the front was taken, and I have little arms. I'm literally like trying to keep Jax seated in a car, like in a cart, while trying to climb up the shelf to grab a 50-pound bag of sand all by myself. But you know how many women helped me load all 400 pounds of sand into my car? 4 of them. But like it was just like it was just really annoying. All right, chat. Let's hit a quick reset. You over on YouTube and Twitch, it's not going to reset. Just a heads up. But we're going to hit a quick reset on the tickety tockety and see if we can get some more maggot to come in here. When you guys come back, I need you to tap the screen, share the live. Like, because we've been live for 1 hour and 46 minutes, and we're only at 45,000 likes. So you guys are really slacking right now. So I need you guys to double tap the screen and do all the good things, okay? We'll be back. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, okay. I made them mad as fuck. Good for you. That was just, they don't actually care about anything. Hmm. They muted you? Of course they did. They booted me. So they were like, get this bitch out. Alright, let's see what this one is. Oh, sorry, bud. I'm not looking for any co-hosting situations right now. I hope you have a lovely day.
All right.
I thought that was somebody in the queue, chat. See, but that's what co-hosting looks like. For the record, let it be known here and now. That is what co-hosting looks like, in which Enzo and I could have a conversation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck the Hoff, dude. Oh, of course they booted Smitty, and then they called us weirdos. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired. What was the beeping? Not beeping. That's not what I meant to say. Whatever that dinging noise was. All right, guys. Gosh, I'm getting so sleepy. Guys, if we could tap the screen, share the live, do all the good things. Bree, so since it's summer vacation, I have to split my show into 2 segments. Basically, one in the morning and one in the evening. I'm trying to hit more of this goal so I could go to sleep. Because it's just been a real struggle here lately. And like I said, guys, if you guys can't donate monetarily, I am a part of the creator program. So if you guys just go to my profile and you like all my videos, favorite all my videos, repost all my videos, leave like a comment, a 5 or more word comment on my videos, all of those things send my videos into the algorithm, which then the more people who do the good things on the videos ultimately start to generate money on their own, right? So, but if we could tap the screen, share the live, if we could knock down some more of this goal, that would help me immensely. Why does my screen keep moving over on like Twitch and YouTube? That's gonna like drive me freaking crazy. I have it locked. Why do you keep moving? Cut that out. Let's see. Thank you for sharing, guys. Why do I have Santa Baby stuck in my head? This is like a problem. I don't care about the advertisements. All right. I am looking for some Trump lives, guys. Fuck, dude. I hate it. I'm also very tired. I took on an in-home childcare job Monday through Friday, and then I worked my regular job Saturday and Sunday. Holy shit, that's crazy. Crazy. What the heck? Hold on. I don't know if RJ's still on. I think RJ may have gone to bed. What? So, guys, this is just like, I'm just super annoyed. I'm super annoyed with like the lack of debates. I'm super annoyed with the news. I'm super annoyed with how hot it is outside and all of the work I had to do. And I'm just super annoyed. I'm tired. I'm just like, I'm reading the sentencing of Carmelo Anthony, and that's like just pissing me off. And like, I just, Pilar, that's like a weird thing to say because, like, I'm married as hell. Like, I am an attractive woman. So, like, brother, what? Well, you hide behind a burger picture. I cashed out today because of the wit cuts and I'm furious. Like, the whole thing, everything just fucking, like, everything's pissing me off because it's just like. So someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to remember a case within the next 10 years of a white man or a white boy who was a student who stabbed a female student 4 times, and he was sentenced to like 15 years. You have Carmelo Anthony, who stabbed a student 1 time and he's sentenced to 35. Trump thinks $10 is enough for fruits and vegetables. It's crazy because you only got like 28. Look, Pilar, you're like, nobody cares about your opinion, man. You're an incel who, like, is never gonna be married. I'm married. I won. But it just, like, I'm just so frustrated. I didn't even know anybody was in the queue. Who was in the queue? That's hilarious. That case, as well as the Rick Chow case, triggered me because of what happened to my friend. Let me refresh myself on Rick Chow. Jesus. What do you mean? You shot a 14-year-old over some bottled water that wasn't even taken? I we're talking about kids, guys. They acquitted him? They fucking acquitted him for chasing a child and shooting him in the back? He'd previously attacked another girl. Guys, what? What are we doing? What are we doing? Mm. Yes, Peanut. Right, Carmelo, no criminal history. Rick Chow, 2 other violent crimes. And here's the thing, right? I've been totally honest with you guys. I don't really know a lot about the Carmelo Anthony case. I didn't look into it. I know 2 boys got into a scuffle. One of them got stabbed. He unfortunately died. Do I think some sort of, like, punishment needs to happen for that? Like, yeah, the same way I would assault, right? 35 years, though? 35 years? So that kid's gonna get out when he's what, 40 something? I mean, Lone Star, yeah, that's what happened. They got into a fight. One of them pulled out a knife. Like, it was a scuffle. Like, these are young kids. Maybe we should teach our children better from like having weapons and violence. Like, why does everything come down to fucking violence?
I think what's crazy is I've heard multiple ops today on this case say that the fact that he owned a knife, like he had a knife on his person, is why it was premeditated. And I'm like, I literally carry a knife daily. Because it's not like here's the thing. Here's why that's a dangerous precedent. A knife has like 9 million uses. It's why I EDC a knife. Like a knife is like one of the most common EDC items that exist. Right? Everybody that has an EDC kit. For those who are like, what the fuck is EDC? Everyday carry. It's like the shit you carry every day.
So wait, since I carry my
Whatever.
gun, if I have to use it, is it premeditated?
This is the point I'm getting to. An EDC knife has 1 million uses. A firearm has 1.
And Queen even pointed out that like because he was a track kid, he could have easily had that knife on him because of trying to like clean his cleats out, like the cleat like underneath the shoe, or because I mean in Texas specifically, and I think across America, I know for some families it's very common to give your child a knife like that, like a pocket knife like that.
Yo, no, but
It's
that's
like
the point, Maddie. Like,
like
how
it's
many
very
times has a
common
Texan told me?
what?
How many times has a Texan told me about how when I was in high school I had a gun rack in my truck?
Right. It's just like I don't understand why they kept saying it was like premeditated because he had the knife. It's like no, do you not know how many kids have knives? And also, it's legal in Texas. Like legally, he is allowed to have that knife. Now you can make an argument about should that be on school grounds. Sure, I know the defense tried to make an argument about like technically because of the state law says it's legal, he can technically have it on school grounds because state laws trump school school stuff. But I mean regardless, it was very clear. Like I said, you can make an argument for self-defense because these were two big kids, right, that were, because it was the victim and his brother that were ganging up on Carmelo. Two big ass kids, 200 pounds, right? I mean, if you're sitting down and you see two 200-pound kids, are you gonna feel threatened? Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna feel threatened. Like, what the hell? And then I can understand making an argument for self-defense, but I could also understand maybe this was an accident. I don't think he intentionally meant to like kill him, and that's why when I see like the mom like of the victim, like the victim mom calling Carmelo like an adult, a man, calling him a murderer, like I don't think he's like like a violent criminal murderer. I think this was just unfortunately like an accident. It happens. I don't think he intentionally meant to kill this kid. Like, he had good grades, no violent history. He 4.0 GPA. He was supposed to go to college. Like, he was planning on going to college. He was captain of the football and track team. Like, I'm sorry.
We're gonna open up the panel. These are gonna be a mix
Meta,
of people.
you are aware that it was also proven that it could have been possibility that he could have leaned over him and gotten stabbed as he was leaning over.
It could have been a possibility that aliens came down and forced it too.
Hey, Meta, hang on a second.
Meta, are we serious, dude?
One at a time, guys.
Hang on,
One at
everybody.
a time.
I would like to say something. Carmelo Anthony is a young black man.
Yeah.
Those two white boys came after him. What was he supposed to do? This is why we needed to teach these young white men better when they're younger. Because these two white boys went after a black man or a black boy, and if you think for a second that they weren't going to do something horrendous to him, you're incorrect. This country is racist. This is a clear-cut reason as to why.
Mm-hmm.
What are we playing at?
And what pisses me off is that they tried to minimize a shove. Like, they kept using terminology. Oh, it was a light shove. It was a light push. I've seen
you put your hands on me, I have every right to take your life.
Like, first and foremost, I've seen some people where it was a quote unquote light shove and kids are having to get stitches for a light shove. A light shove could turn into a harder shove, a fucking push, a punch. Like
Oh my
that can turn
goodness.
into shut up, Meta. That can turn into something far more dangerous and deadly. Also, they were on bleachers. When you shove someone on a
Bleachers?
bleacher,
Meta, can you please wait your turn? I
when you
promise I'm gonna
shove
call on you in just a minute.
Goodness.
when you
Meta.
shove someone when you shove someone on bleachers, right? You're risking the possibility of hurting someone on a bleacher that's also, mind you, probably wet from the rain, and you can easily fall, slip, and hurt yourself.
Right. All right. So Meta, can I have your age for TikTok, please?
It was hilarious when you said
Meta,
not
can I have
intentional.
Meta? Can I have your age, please?
I'm 42, but I'm
Thank
married,
you.
so nothing can
No,
happen
hey,
between us.
the TikTok TOS says I need to ask you your
No,
age. I
TikTok's
know
not
Ginky
listening to
is
me say a
40.
number. It's okay.
All right, Meta. If that's how you're gonna be, then just go somewhere else and spew your hate. Okay, bye.
He was gonna be racist. So I
I'm
don't really
also
give a fuck.
fucking married. Hi, Lone Star. I know you, so I'm not gonna ask your age.
Hey. So, Geeky, when you say it was two white men going against
Two
this
white boys.
young...
I said, well, 2 white boys.
Oh, okay. Well, it was one, right, that was
There were two.
involved.
When you are a marginalized person, as one of the 2 marginalized people, racially marginalized people on this panel right now, I'm going to speak on this. When you are a marginalized person and someone comes at you like that, and there's someone else there with them, you assume that they're coming for your life. Because that's how you stay alive.
At a track meet. Under a tent.
At an anywhere.
That wasn't his school's tent, where he was suspended from school for having
That was
a
debunked.
weapon.
That was debunked. Hold on. That's debunked. He was never suspended from the track meet.
You kidding
me? That's been debunked. So stop
Let's
lying
go one
on
at
the
a
case.
time, guys.
Let's look it up.
Okay. Let's see. All
Like,
I
I
can
think
find is
some-
things on the sentencing.
Like, I think sometimes people need to put their shoes into marginalized like communities and realize that, like, unfortunately this verdict showed that if a marginalized person, right, a black person, right, needs to defend themselves, it's murder, right? It's murder according to the law. But if a marginalized person, a black person, tries to run away or walk away from the situation, they could easily get more harm and get killed more. We've seen cases like that from happening where we've seen black men and women or black boys or black girls trying to walk away from a situation and they get killed because of it. Like, black people are not safe in this country. And Queen actually, this is, once again, I'm going to use Queen, an amazing black woman. She actually pointed this out to me. And this is something that I need all people to realize, right? Specifically those that got black children. She was talking about how her child now is no longer in the cute stages of life. He's in the stages of life where now people will see him as a threat. And that really hit close to home with me. Why? Because I also have a black child. And you know how many times everyone comes on my live and says, Bubba's is so cute. It's so cute. Guess what? In a couple years, that's not going to be the same case. In a couple years, people are probably going to see my son and think that he's a threat. That's what it's like. So I need every fucking white person up here to, like, check their privilege, okay?
I can't find anything stating that he was suspended from school during the track meet. However, one news station did report that previously in his tenure as a student, he had been suspended from school for bringing a knife to school. I do think it's important to point out that apparently in this altercation, Anthony was sitting under a school tent, sitting down, when he was asked to move, and Anthony said, "Make me move." And he was grabbed by the backpack in response, and the situation quickly escalated. As a white woman in America with privilege, if anyone puts their hands on me, especially since I'm a survivor of domestic violence, I carry my Second Amendment for a reason. Don't put your hands on me. Like, what do you mean? And nothing would happen to me if I had to use my Second Amendment. And that is my privilege. Like, at the end of the day, all of these boys should have kept their hands to themselves. But why was it okay for Carmelo to be assaulted first?
Here's my whole thing. We have forgotten the golden rule of if you talk shit and you try shit, you get hit. They should not have been coming at him like that. It wasn't any of their business. And for them to
Stop.
Hello?
Who put them in charge of the tent?
Nobody put the students in charge of the tent.
The coach
students are not
put
the students are not in charge of the tent.
the coach put him in charge of the tent.
No, he
That
did
was
not.
presented
Lone Star,
during
you're
the case.
making up shit.
No,
Where are
it
you
was
getting
not.
this from, Lone Star?
Where are you getting this from?
Let me pull it up.
Because that is not true. You guys do not know track culture. In track culture, it is a more friendly, people sport. It is
Track
very
culture?
common.
I'm 41 years old and ran track.
Track. I'm talking about the sport. It is very common for students to go underneath other teams' tents. That is very common.
So
it was not the job of Austin and Hunter, right, to decide who can be under the tent and who can't, because there were people under the tent that knew Carmelo and had no problem with him being there. So you're lying.
Right.
It is totally okay for him to be under the tent. And if the boys had a problem with him being under the tent, then the boys should have went and gotten a fucking adult.
Right.
Instead of causing issues. Stop.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't know any teacher that is going to leave kids that are high testosterone and all that other shit to be in charge of a tent. The other thing too is that the issue that a lot of people were arguing was with this. They were equating with the stand your ground law to Texas. I myself have a stand your ground law. I live in Florida, so it's pretty similar. It's just, to me personally, I think the Texas stand your ground law is a little bit stronger than in Florida, because in Florida we have to try to actually get away from the situation. If we can't get away from the situation, then whatever we need to do to get out of that situation at that point, even if it's unaliving somebody, then it is what it is.
From what I can find, it says no, Austin Metcalf was not officially in charge of the tent. Rather, the tent belonged to his school's track team. So on April 2nd, 2025, severe rain delayed a regional track meet. Because Carmelo Anthony's school, Frisco Centennial High School, did not have its own tent, he sought shelter under Frisco Memorial's tent. Official reports and witness testimony state that Austin's twin brother Hunter initially told Austin he needed to move out from under the other team's tent. Austin and other teammates then joined in, demanding Anthony leave the team-designated area. This verbal dispute escalated, leading to a physical push and ultimately resolving it in Anthony's fatal stabbing. Why did nobody go get an adult to remove the student that didn't go to the school? And why was it even a big deal that a student was taking shelter under a tent? Would anyone care if this kid was white and took shelter under that tent?
No. Fuck no.
Yes,
they would not.
They
give a
would.
shit.
They
No,
would
they
fucking
wouldn't.
kick him out. Yes, they would.
Can you prove that,
Wait,
Lone Star?
why though? Look, I'm genuinely curious as to why, because I've been following this case from day one, and I just went off of what the law said. So, like, what's your stance on that whole thing that you just said then?
Who? Me?
No, Lone Star, because he said something about that. Apparently, whether if he was black or white, they would have cared. So I'm just kind of curious as to why.
Lone Star, do you believe systemic
That is.
racism exists in America?
This isn't about systemic racism. This is about somebody killing somebody else.
Yes.
Why is it?
Wait,
even-
hang on.
No,
Lone
you
Star.
can't make the
this is
argument without
exclusively
bringing
about
race into
racism.
it.
Because it's about racism.
No, it's not.
A black boy is being charged with the unaliving of a white man, of a white boy. He's being charged and fucking convicted to 35 years of unaliving a white boy who came at him, who pursued him. Anywhere else in the world, we would have self-defense. But for some bizarre reason, this young black boy did not. Why?
Can you make your argument without bringing
No,
race
because
into
it
it?
matters.
Just
It
present.
matters.
No,
It
just
matters.
present
It
the
matters,
evidence.
Lone Star. It
No,
matters,
just present
Lone
the
Star.
evidence.
Lone Star, are you
and
white?
all-
Lone Star, are you white? Lone Star, are you white?
Yes.
Geeky,
Then
I need
shut
you to
the
bring
fuck
it down.
up about
Geeky, I need you to bring it down.
Geeky, no. I want you to present the case without bringing.
Race matters, and if you don't think it does, that's your fucking privilege speaking, dude.
Geeky, I absolutely love you. You know I do. Like we're trying to have just like I think an educational discussion can happen here, because Lone Star Geeky is right. Race absolutely matters here. If this was a white boy who just sat under the tent, nobody would have batted an eye at him, right? And we can look at many cases to prove that this is true, right? There was a case, I can't remember the kid's name off the top of my head, so somebody correct me if you know his name. This happened within the last 10 years. A male student, a white boy, stabbed a female student 4 times. Lone Star, both of them were white. That girl died. Do you know what that white boy was charged with? He was charged of first-degree murder, pled out to a lesser sentence, and got 15 years. Why was that not an option for Carmelo?
I can also point out to my friend who was murdered, my friend Corey Thompson. He was a black man. He was murdered by a white man. White man claimed self-defense. He shot him 11 times in the back, twice in the back of the head, 9 times in the back. And he even said himself, showed no remorse in the courtroom, showed no empathy. When he was on trial, on testimony, and was asked about the weapon used, he literally said with his full chest, "That's the murder gun."
Dude,
And
Kyle
got
Rittenhouse.
40 years in prison, 20 years in parole. If it was the other way around and it was my friend on trial, it would have been life.
So Kyle Rittenhouse is a really good example of this, I think. Kyle Rittenhouse, who at the time was, I believe, 17 years old, traveled across state lines with a weapon he should have never had to begin with, to guard a business nobody asked him to guard, who then took somebody's life, and he was let go on self-defense. What's the difference?
Right, and I don't.
George Zimmerman.
I think one of the biggest differences is if you watch the videos, because the jury, realistically, the jury's not gonna really care about anything unless you really like simplify it for them. I was called to jury myself, and I sat there in the room, and I was listening, and these people are talking about, oh, I don't care if they pull me in for this reason, I'm just gonna find them guilty or whatever, or I'm just gonna find them innocent because I got better things to do than to sit here all day and do this shit. When it comes to the justice system, as much as I like to support the justice system, I do believe that the justice system is flawed in every which way. Yeah, it absolutely is in every which way, shape, or form.
Right, it's broken.
It absolutely is, and I completely agree.
And I mean, I'm not saying, guys, for the record, right? I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony is absolutely absolved and innocent and shouldn't be charged with any type of crime whatsoever. But 35 years, when we can look at very similar cases with very similar outcomes, who got very lesser charges or off scot-free because they're white, is wild. Like to act like this thing doesn't exist is wild.
After Geeky goes, Emma, there was something that I wanted to bring to your attention as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Geeky.
We're entitled to a trial by jury of our peers, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely.
There was no singular peer of Carmelo Anthony on that jury.
Not a singular fucking one. 12 white folk staring at this young black man being charged with the murder of another boy who was
First degree
white.
murder.
First degree. That means it was preemptive. That means that they premeditated it.
I think first degree in Texas is different. Hold on.
It varies. I know involuntary or criminal, I think it's involuntary manslaughter or negligent manslaughter. It's one of the two. Or, sorry, homicide.
Is it
one of the other
involuntary?
biggest.
Isn't
Yeah,
involuntary
it's
manslaughter like typically for like drunk drivers?
Yeah, no, it's not that
Accidental.
one. You're right. It is considered, I believe, Texas. It is. I looked this up earlier. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? It is. It's criminal. It's. I think it's criminal or criminally, involuntary, homicide. In a situation where if me and Lone Star are beefing and something accidentally happens to me and he ends up like unaliving me or something like that in Texas, in that with that law, I think it's 1902. I would have to relook at it and double check. In a situation like that, from what I read and what I understood on it, now I could be wrong. They're still gonna charge. They would charge Lone Star for first degree.
Yeah, so he was charged with
that.
murder, first-degree felony. This charge applies when an
Yeah.
individual intentionally or knowingly causes death, intends to cause serious bodily injury resulting in death, or commits a dangerous felony that leads to death.
The fact of the matter is, they charged this young boy. They charged this young boy with that charge when he was defending himself from two people coming at him. If this was actually a fair trial, there would be black jurors.
I agree. I
And I do know.
How does
I do
jury
know that-
selection work?
I know
Fun
how it
story.
works.
So they gather about 70 some odd people in a room, and then they start divvying them up into the different cases that they might be assigned to. From there, the jury selection goes into an interview stage where the attorneys will interview one by one. And then they get certain null and voids. So you get to veto someone else's pick. The prosecutor gets to veto the defense's picks. The defense gets to veto the prosecutor's picks. They have a limited number of those vetoes. They vie for the ones that they want on the jury. It still doesn't change the fact that he was not in front of a jury of his peers.
So that would then indicate by that, Geeky, that would then to me personally would say that his defense lawyer
They failed him.
fumbled, and I
Oh,
would
no.
dare
Everyone,
say
yeah, peanut butter. Everyone
yeah.
is saying that the defense team completely failed him. Like
Oh,
we
absolutely.
absolutely agree with that. But it
Mhm.
still does not negate the racism that the prosecution did, and we know that this prosecution team is very corrupt. Like if you look into this prosecution team and you look into this prosecution and the shit that they've been founded for, very corrupt, very fucking corrupt in this town.
I would honestly, Maddie, dare to go too far as say that his defense lawyer was also the same. If I'm being honest with you, because they both
I wouldn't be
picked
surprised
this
if they
jury,
were.
You know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were compromised.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's looking at 35, and he has a mandatory 17 and a half, with the chance of parole. So like,
Lone Star,
I mean,
Brock Turner was caught raping a woman behind a dumpster. Literally caught by people, chased him down and everything. They
I don't
gave
know
him
anything about that
6
case.
months.
Yep, should have got
They gave
more.
him 6 months.
Should have got more.
okay
I don't
with
agree
that.
with that. I do not agree with that.
No, I don't either. Oh,
You want to
Emma,
know why he got 6 months? Hang on, y'all. The reason why he got 6 months is because he was a white man.
From an affluent family.
From an affluent family. And the judge literally said he's got a promising future ahead of him. So did the woman that he raped.
Good lord, I can't. I'm sorry. Like when we talk, like topics like that for me is a turmoil for me personally because I have a daughter. So you know it. But this is my personal thing. It's always those
Peanut
kind of
butter.
topics.
It's
stress me
personal
out.
for me, Maddie, and
yeah.
Emma as well.
Absolutely. No, I look, I that's the one thing that I worry about every day with my daughter, and she's only 7. And she's the only one that's awake out of my 2 who needs to go to bed. But she's fighting it right now. She doesn't want to go to sleep. She wants to be the rebel child. I already gave you a hug and a kiss goodnight.
Geeky, I wasn't
Oh my
trying
God.
to
Give her another one.
push back just to push back, because I want to say that race has nothing to do with it, because I
You'd be
believe in the
lying to yourself.
humanity. Well, I believe in humanity, that we follow the facts of the case and justice will prevail. I am sorry that sometimes it does not work out like that.
Most times it does not work out like that.
If we stop believing in humanity, then we stop being humans,
But it's not the
and
humanity.
then we
Lodestar.
all fall apart.
So it's not the humanity of it, Lodestar. It's the justice system. Right?
It has this wonderful theory called radical acceptance.
Right.
Oh, sorry, I was cut off a little bit by
You're
text
fine.
messages.
It's not the fact that the humanity of it, that people didn't feel empathetic towards these two boys, right? The humanity of people is there. The justice system consistently fucks people over. Because what do you mean you have a right to a trial by a jury of your peers? But this was all white folk on this jury.
But that's not what peers means.
What does
Yes,
peers
it
mean?
does.
What does peers mean?
Your race.
What does
I looked
peers
up the
mean?
definition of peers. It's, from my understanding, Geeky, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a group of people within the community.
Nope. Someone who belongs to the
Okay.
same social, professional, or academic group as you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I also saw
social.
community in there, so that's why I said that as well.
Yeah, and the problem with that is obviously if you have a predominant white jury or an all-white jury, they're not going to understand, right, the feeling of what it's like to be a black person in America, right? And the prejudice and the fear that they have to face, right? They're not going to understand that. When you have older people who are not even in the same age demographic as you, they're not going to understand. Like, the one thing that the prosecution kept pushing was this whole tent debacle, like track culture shit, when what they're saying was not true. And if someone, whether it be another, individual that is maybe 18, 19, 20 years old that just graduated high school and has, that knows like track events, or at least knows sporting events, or let's say an educator, right? Which there were 3 educators that, could have been selected, but the prosecution denied them because they felt it was biased due to their job, which is so funny because they ended up being the only 3 that were black. They were black women
Yep,
that were
500
educators.
589. 589 prospective jurors.
So of 589 prospective jurors, they found 12 white folk?
Yeah.
They couldn't find a singular black person? Now here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me. Because, Lone Star, the way that you're speaking, it's much more of the, well, just ignore it, stop talking about racism, and then it'll just go away. That's not how it works, man. That's not how this fucking works. We can't just hope for the best and not do anything about it. Because while we are just hoping for the best and hoping for humanity to do the right thing and we're trying to follow the facts of the matter are that this was racism. Just straight up. A jury of all white peers? Those aren't his peers. A jury of no one who looks like him, who has his experiences, none of that. The fact of the matter is, he's a black boy, and he was charged with the murder of white boys, and the jury was made up of all white people. There was no way he was going to get a fair trial. There was no way. There were no black people on the jury.
Again,
we can't
none
change
of us
things if
here-
we can't accept it's broken.
Right. And again, for the record, none of us here are screaming that this boy is innocent. I don't think any of the boys involved are innocent. I think they all did something terrible. Whether it be not getting an adult and trying to take a situation into their own hands, to putting their hands on each other, to pulling out a knife and stabbing somebody. All of these things are wrong, right? Hunter should have never approached Anthony to begin with and should have went and got an adult to remove him from the tent. Austin should have never put his hands on Anthony to begin with, and Anthony should have never pulled a knife. Everybody is wrong in this situation. Does it deserve 35 years? Do situations in the heat of a moment as 17-year-old men, 17-year-old boys, right? We were all 17 once. Do you guys remember the hormones surging through our fucking bodies at 17, the situations
Oh,
that would happen that we thought were the end of the fucking world, the end all be all situations, how we reacted at 17 years old. Does it deserve 35 years when similar situations have happened throughout history and nobody's gotten similar sentences that weren't black?
I think 35 might, be a bit too much. Originally, I was just like, well, 35 really isn't that bad, but maybe 35 might be a bit too much. I think
He'll be older
It's
than
all-
me by the time he's out. He'll be
It's-
older
Yeah.
than me by the time he's
It's
out.
literally peanut butter. It's
mind you,
almost
I'm
the same
32.
amount. It's almost the same amount as the perpetrator that killed my friend. It's just 5 year. It's 5 years below that, right? And the
Yeah.
only reason why, I think the only reason why my perpetrator that killed my friend got 40 years was because he had a previous criminal record. He had a previous violent criminal record before he murdered my friend, right? And there was just so many different things that just didn't add up to where with that case compared to this case, where I think, like, yes, there could have been an argument for self-defense. Do I think the defense did a great job? No, I don't think they did the best job that they could. And I would even argue that the prosecution, the way that the prosecution laid on some of those kids was absolutely disgusting. The redlining and the fact that the defense did not object that is absolutely disgusting that happened with this particular case.
So pause real quick. Just a question to the chat. So I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat saying that 35 isn't enough and he should have gotten more. I want those people saying that. How do you feel about Chud the Builder?
I'm not familiar with that case.
So
I
Chud the
know
Builder,
enough
Lone Star. Chud the Builder is a content creator who is a white man, and the entirety of his content is approaching people of color and calling them slurs, like the N-word with the hard R, for example. He tweeted about a very specific person that he was going to do this to a few days before doing it. He did it to this black man who is a veteran. That black man rocked his shit. And then Chud pulled out a gun and shot him.
No. Yeah, he should have gotten more.
I think personally with that whole Chud situation, I don't know if you guys remember this one dude, Roman, who was like that prankster that ran around and robbed fake ATMs and shit as a prank to the public, and then ended up getting into a lawsuit. He got charged with like oh god, what was it? It was so long ago. He got charged with a whole bunch of stupid shit.
I just want to know if, like Jim, for example, in the chat, who said Carmelo should have gotten life, I just want to know if you think Chud the Builder should also get life for shooting a veteran point blank after calling him the N-word with the hard R. I mean, luckily the veteran survived, right? But, like, I think that was absolutely premeditated to begin with, seeing as there was tweets to prove he was going to do this thing to this very specific person, and then he pulled a gun and shot him point blank.
James Salatoro got life because that's the person that killed my friend, and he shot him 11 times in the back. And before anybody, and this is like what I was gonna say, right? And this is what really infuriates me, and this is why this case triggers me, is because the entire time I hear people talking about the victim, right, saying he was a good kid, he tried to do the right thing, this, that, and the third, and then anytime that mother would speak about the, defendant, she would call, her kid a kid. But then she would call
him a man.
A man, trying to be like paint him as a violent criminal. And what pissed me off the most is that when my friend was murdered, guess what my friend was called? Instead of being like, oh, he was a good kid, he was such a great kid, he was so nice, he was so lovable, everyone was asking the question, was he in a gang? Did he do drugs? Oh, he was on drugs. I bet that's why he got killed. That's the difference. And I need people to realize that and understand that. That's the difference. When a white kid gets killed, it's, oh, he's such a great kid. He tried to do the right thing. When a black child gets killed, it's, oh, he was in a gang. He did drugs. He was holding drugs. Let that sink in.
And I mean, we see this happen like so much, right? We see this happen, like George Zimmerman took I'm blanking on his name. Then there's like Philander Castile, who was like shot point blank in his car. And
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin, thank you. I'm sorry, this is late for me. I'm normally in bed by now. I'm normally asleep by
Me
like
too.
8 p.m., brother. So like, thank you. But like we see this like happen all the time when it comes to like the black community, like black boys and men like losing their lives at the hands of like white people, whether they be like police officers or just everyday citizens, and like those white people get to go home. Like
It's okay. Somebody made an interesting comment though. Somebody said, "I don't care what the color of the skin is. If somebody gets unalived, then the unaliving." Oh yeah, right here. It was Grandpa Joe that said that. Okay. Yeah, he said he believes that anyone that kills anybody should be hung in the town
Ew.
square, no matter the color.
yeah, we're not gonna be doing all that, Grandpa.
I don't. I get it. I don't fucking agree with that. That's really stupid. Personally, in my personal opinion. Also, when I don't know, I heard about this, but I haven't had a chance to look it up yet. But apparently, in Texas, there is, there was something along the lines of if 3 witnesses found or watched somebody be aggressive, that they were allowed, the judge is allowed to give that person who's being accused of being the aggressor and unaliving somebody also the electric chair as well. I've yet to look into that, and I don't necessarily believe that to be true. But considering you had a computer, Emma, I figured you might be able to find that faster than I can. Because if I teacup, I know I'm going to disconnect.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Can you repeat that for me one more time?
Yeah, it was something along the lines of if 3 people said that somebody was being aggressive in a situation where somebody gets unalived or killed, the judge has the authority to give somebody the electric chair. It's something of that standard. I don't remember everything word for word, but it was something along those lines.
Oh, let's see.
Because that's what I'm curious to know. Because if that's the case, then like the jury and the judge could have put that on him if that's true.
Well, the reason why he was not given the death penalty, from my understanding, was because he was 17 at the time. I'm pretty sure that was why.
Yeah.
So they would
I'm
have to
wondering
be
if that's
charged. You would have to be charged with capital murder in order to possibly receive the death penalty. And this is intentional murder combined with very specific aggravating factors, such as killing a child under 15, murdering a peace officer, or committing a murder during another serious felony like a robbery or a kidnapping. So he did not meet the standards for capital murder.
Okay. Yeah, because see, I knew there was different ones. I knew capital murder was one of those that met the qualification, and even I knew he didn't meet those qualifications. So that's why I was just curious to know that, because it was concerning. Because if only 3, like, it was the way that this person phrased it to me, that was just like, oh, well, if 3 people said that Carmelo Anthony was being extremely aggressive in this particular situation and was proved to be the aggressor, then the judge had all right to throw the electric chair at him. And I was just like, if that's the case, like, okay, but like that's also kind of like fucked up at the same time to me personally. That all you need would just be like 3 witnesses to confirm that somebody was being aggressive, and then just bam, electric chair. That doesn't make any sense, and that would, to me, consider that a broken the broken system like we talked about earlier. Sorry, I'm starting to like fall asleep here.
I think the problem is it's not necessarily like what he did. It's more of the fact of like the racism surrounding the case, specifically with the jurors and how the jurors were picked. And how, like, I think that's what a lot of people are really pissed off about. I think a lot of people are pissed off about at the fact of, you know, the media, the supporters of Austin Metcalf, the way they painted this young boy to be like, they painted him almost like he was a criminal, like he's violent, that he like almost has a history of this. This kid never had gotten involved in crime a day of his life. He had never committed a violent crime ever. He, was a captain for football and track. He was a straight A student, 4.0 GPA. I mean, I saw people that were, there, right, honoring Austin, which they have the right to be, but the way that they were towards the black community, calling them animals, calling them monkeys, saying things like, that he was an animal, that, he deserves everything he's coming for him. Like, just all of these things, calling Carmelo a thug. It's like you're doing that because he's black. That's just
Right.
disgusting and gross. Like, that is the problem. That's the issue. And then when you have people after the verdict coming on live on TikTok, going to black creators' lives and saying, we won, white power.
I saw a live today that was a
That's
picture.
a problem.
Yeah, I saw a live today that was a picture of Carmelo Anthony in tears, and it said Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
So you
that's just
can't
a
tell me
problem.
it's not about race, because the people that claimed it wasn't about race are now making it about race now.
You're okay, Peanut Butter. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit and sharing your opinion. But yeah, no, again, for those who are like new in the chat, right? Like, none of us here are saying whether or not anyone is innocent or guilty. Like, I'm going to keep repeating my opinion over and over again. I think all three of these boys were responsible for making a bad choice, and that bad choice unfortunately led to the like a boy losing his life. I just don't think it deserves 35 years. I think Hunter should have went and gotten an adult instead of approaching Carmelo to begin with. I think Austin should have never put his hands on Carmelo to begin with, and I think Carmelo should have never pulled out a knife.
And I think we need to teach our young boys, our young kids, to not be putting their hands on each other. I think we need to be teaching them, right, that, well, one, I think we need to argue the fact of the matter. If a child has a knife or a weapon on school grounds, that should tell you everything, that's a problem. So we need to tackle that.
Wait. I'd like to say something real quick, because there seems to be a fundamental misunderstanding with the way that our legal system works. Because there is innocent and guilty, but there's an entire spectrum in between those two things. It's not that easy. Just because we say, I can easily say that none of them were innocent. However, Carmelo is not guilty. He is not guilty because he defended himself when two white boys came after him. I'm sorry, I'm gonna die on this hill. They should not have gone after him. A young black man, a young person of color, in any way, shape, or form. If they see white folk coming at them, they're going to react as if it's going to cost them their lives. Because for a lot of us, it does.
I absolutely agree. And to bring this just full circle moment back around, because as you guys know, I primarily do politics. Do we think this culture of immediate violence is going to get any better when we have this, the whatever Marco Rubio does, and Dana White making a memorandum to have cage matches for democracy?
Oh, I think that's the stupidest thing. Cage matches for democracy?
Yes, I'm so serious.
That's the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
Like,
they're talking about solving issues between nations with cage matches, Lone Star.
Right.
And
this goes to the MMA UFC fights that Trump wants to have at the White House. Is the stupidest thing to spend money on.
I agree. It costs $60 million to erect that fucking cage that Donald Trump's talking about we may never take down. I just want healthcare.
We could literally use that money for healthcare to fund WIC. They're actively trying to cut funds to WIC. And the point that I was trying to bring up was that, like, it should be a problem that kids feel like they have to carry a pocket knife or they have to carry a weapon on them because they don't feel safe. That's something we just need to address. Something we also need to address is the fact of the matter of, like, making sure that our kids are taught, specifically our black children out there that are out there, go get an adult, right? Everybody, right? Regardless, go get an adult if you have a problem with someone. Do not try to fight it out, because it could ultimately cost someone's life. And then we're in this situation where we're debating about whether or not it was self-defense, it was not, the country is very divided. Then we have like the racial issue that's being brought into it. This could have all been prevented had Austin and Hunter gone and got an adult.
Right.
But this also goes back to what Emma said. Being 17, 17 as a young, testosterone-filled, competitive person, I wouldn't have gone to get the teacher because I was 17. I knew what I was doing. So saying go get a teacher, I don't know any 17-year-old that's going to go do that. They're going to try and handle it themselves, which is wrong.
I do. It's called teaching your kid to and telling them the fucking truth that this could happen if you don't get an adult instead of trying to figure out yourself. Because if you're going to try to figure it out yourself and inflict violence on somebody else, it could easily cost your life, or you can cost somebody else's life. And then your ass is the one ended up in jail. And especially for me, this is a different conversation for me because, like I said, my child is black. So I would have to have this conversation for my child saying, if you try to self-defend yourself, I hate to break it to you, but self-defense is going to be considered murder in their eyes.
There is unfortunately so many things that you are going to have to teach Bubbas to sit out for that the normal, like other children, white children would not have to do the same thing.
Oh no, I'm very much aware. I'm going to have to teach them, like, you're going to have to sit out of these things. You're going to have to engage in these conversations a lot different than your white peers, right? Because if you do,
and
you're
I fucking
risking the
hate that.
possibility.
I hope by the time Bubba's is old enough that we don't have to have those conversations.
Yo,
That's what I want to fix.
I want to do one quick thing, because I don't want him to get away from this. Lone Star, I need you to acknowledge that race played a part in this.
No, I will not acknowledge that race played a part.
That's racist. That's racist. That's racist, Lone Star. It's racist.
I've been thinking about
You're sitting
race.
there in your white privilege so fucking hard, so deep, that you can't even acknowledge the fact that this black boy did not get a fair shake.
So Lone Star, what if the roles? Hold on.
Problem.
So Lone Star, what if the roles were reversed? What if this was a white boy on trial and an all-black jury?
Mm-hmm.
You think that white boy would get a fair shake?
Yes, because they're supposed to just follow the facts. In criminal cases, race should have nothing to do with it.
Stupid Lone Star. I don't want to believe
white people are inherently racist, right? So, for example, Lone Star, I was born and raised in California. While growing up in California, I was actually like a minority in my neighborhood. I grew up with primarily like people of color surrounding me, whether they were black people, Hispanic people, like Arabic people, right? Like I grew up in a situation where I was the minority in that situation. So when I moved to Indiana and it was just a sea of white kids, I was actually kind of scared to talk to any of the kids who looked like me because it was an experience that I just never had, right? But then I noticed things, right? Like we had a black boy move into the school where I was welcomed with open arms. This black boy was met with a noose in his locker, while the other boys all wearing Carhartt jackets laughed about it. They didn't mean that they were actually going to hang this boy, right? That wasn't their intention when they were questioned by the school. But this was what they were taught is okay or meant to be funny by their parents. Like, the people that I grew up with were scared to go to places like Louisville, Kentucky, because they just assume that people of color are just loud and like brash and like aggressive for no reason, because that's the way they're portrayed on television. Like, this exists and it leads to people who look like us to be racist without recognizing that we're being racist, to have this prejudice against people based on how they look because of things that we see or we learn throughout our lives that we didn't even recognize we saw or learned. So, like, to say that a black boy got a fair trial with an all-white jury, when that all-white jury, like those white women, if one of them was alone in an elevator with that black boy, would have hugged their purse a little tighter.
Can you pull up the jury? Can we see who that it actually was all white?
So it's actually been reported on that the couple of black jurors were dismissed. One said silence is something that they can't overlook, and the other one said they would have a hard time throwing a brother in jail.
I've been quiet for like this entire conversation.
I didn't even know
I've been
you were
doing my
here,
records,
Crow.
but yeah, I know. I do that a lot. How many times do I do that? I just be doing shit, and you forget I'm here because. But you also know that when I'm quiet, I'm doing one thing. I'm listening to the entire fucking conversation. I think the hurdle you're having, Lone Star, is you're talking about the idealized version of law that people will rule only on a matter of law and nothing else. They will follow the jury instructions to the letter, and in an ideal world, that would be fucking delightful. Like, but the people that are purely logical, coldly logical, are few and far between. Hell, I am logical as fuck. You know me. I'm logically consistent in all things. Even if you ask me a spicy question, I will answer using my own fucking logic and be logically consistent to a point that it actually irritates people sometimes. And even I can admit that I am susceptible to biases sometimes. So, like, your idea that, well, this is how juries are supposed to work works in a vacuum, but it fails once it achieves contact with reality. Because everybody has biases.
Hi,
Everybody.
Neff. How are you? I just wanted to welcome Neff in.
Neff, breathe.
Neff, I promise. So Lone Star is actively deconstructing, and I think this is a really good educational moment for Lone Star specifically. But I know this is probably a really
That's
touchy
that's why I
situation for
think
you.
you're-
So
That's why I think you're running into this conflict with everybody. You're operating in a coldly logical vacuum of what court is supposed to be, what juries are supposed to be, what the law is supposed to be. And as somebody who fucking loves the law, I understand the idea of the vacuum, but the vacuum fails on contact with reality.
Well, then I need to. I'm not trying to fight with people.
I know that, Lone Star. I know.
I know. That's why I came like I did. Like, because Lone Star, you and I have had fucking calm ass conversations about highly fucking like inflammatory shit before. I've just been listening this entire time because I just finished cataloging, pricing my record. So I decided, I'm like, all right, now I can actually turn to my phone. And that's where, like, because you keep bringing up that same point. That's why I think you're stuck on it in your head of what the law should be, what the law ought to be, what juries ought to be. But you're not processing that everybody has biases, and it may not be conscious, it may not be willful. Some people are shit stains. Some people are just terrible fucking people. But most people that have biases act on those biases without actively thinking about the bias that they're acting on. It's just it's a facet of society. And that's why I say your idealized concept of how the jury should work, how the law should work, doesn't survive contact with that reality.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I have to go back and and rethink. Like, try not to. I guess my whole thing, I was trying to not look at. Like, I just wanted to know the facts. I didn't care anything else but the facts. And I guess I can't look at it like that. So yeah, there's more things that I overlooked, and
we often do that when looking at legal cases. We look at just the facts, but there's a difference from being the person on the outside looking back at the case from the outside and being the jury person on that seat and recognizing that in that moment biases are in play. Biases are always in play in that moment. Like,
Lone
it doesn't
Star,
matter what case it is.
I just want you to know, Lone Star, and I want to give you like just a little bit of flowers here because like during this conversation you've been extremely open-minded. You've given a little pushback, and like I think that's natural for somebody who is in their deconstruction journey. And I don't think anybody recognizes you for the fact that you are actively deconstructing and like learning these things like in real time while spending time with us. Like we are actively how does Crystal put it? We are indoctrinating you.
Oh my god.
That's how Crystal puts it. We're gonna turn Lone Star into a radical left loony bin before he knows it, chat.
And Lone Star, I just want you to like. I'm gonna ask you just a question real quick. It's not a gotcha. You've been in my lives and you've seen my son. You think he's a cutie pie?
yes.
Yeah, he's adorable. Yeah, adorable as hell. Now I need you to realize and understand something. He's adorable now and he's cute now, but in a few years when he gets older, they're not going to say he looks cute and adorable. There are going to be people out there that are going to stereotype him, that are going to racially profile him and say that he is violent, that he's more aggressive. And I just need you to understand that. Like that's just unfortunately the system that we're in today. That's unfortunately the system that is set up, right? Where, people will look at a child, right? A small child and be like, oh, they're so cute. But then once that small child gets older and becomes a teenager, rather becoming a young adult, right? They're no longer a cutie pie, an adorable child. They're now a violent criminal in their eyes. And I just need you to just kind of understand that.
And I want to illustrate this entire biases thing, Lone Star. Like, I'm going to use myself as an example because I like fucking using myself as an example because fuck it. It doesn't hurt anybody to use myself as a fucking example. I am a giant, bald, white presenting dude in the United fucking States, Lone Star. When I walk down the street, I know what people see. I look like a whole fucking skinhead. I look like a fucking threat at all times. Those are the biases that get put against me. I just have the luxury of not giving a fuck about those biases because I'm in the power position in society. So I don't have to give a fuck. Like, I know the biases exist. I know what people see when they see me. I'm just not affected by them because I sit in the position of power in that society. Somebody like him is in the opposite. They're quite literally in the opposite of that, where all biases can do is impact them.
So Neff, you've been really quiet, and I want to give you an opportunity to speak your piece here as well. Neff, welcome to the panel. You know how I feel about you. I love you.
Neff and I are gonna feel the same way.
I've just been taking time to try to breathe because you said he's trying to deconstruct, so I'm gonna breathe.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to butt in, just
Really
feel free to butt in. Yeah.
Lone Star, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you feel as though, hang on one second.
Milkshake, or Master Shake, I'm not sure who you are. Can you give us your age real quick for the panel?
38.
Thank you.
Regardless of my ass is going to bed. My brain is mashed potatoes. You all have a good night.
Bye, Crow. Love you.
Have fun going to bed.
Why do you feel as though a white child has the authority to tell a black child what to do, even though they're both children and they both are in high school and they both are athletes? Like, why does the black child have to listen to the white child?
Nick, I'm afraid you kind of ate with that. Oh, shit.
So from, like, in general, or just involving this case?
In general, because if you really want to talk about it, go ahead and in general.
Find it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has to really listen to anybody.
Oh, so why did
Hunter.
Why did Carmelo listen to Austin?
Whose tent were they in?
They were underneath the school's tent. It was not Austin's tent.
Right.
But it was Austin's school's tent, right?
He doesn't own the tent.
Does that give him authority?
Does he own the tent? Does he own the fucking tent, Lone Star?
I mean,
does
maybe
he go to the school?
Lone Star. That's not the fucking question I asked your stupid ass.
But that's what we were saying earlier. That's what we were saying earlier, right, Lone Star? Is the fact that somebody should have went and got an adult who had authority over this tent because it wasn't Hunter and Austin. Just because they go to a school doesn't give them authority over anything in that school.
What's the fuck again? Why is it the black child has to listen to the white child?
I already told you.
No, you didn't answer that question.
I did. I said he
No, you didn't. He didn't tell him to get out, and then after he told him I'm not getting out, he proceeded to put his hands on him, and then he told him, if you touch me again, see what happens. We're just gonna act like that didn't fucking happen.
Stabbed.
So you wanted to talk about that, so I'm talking about facts.
He got grabbed. and then he got stabbed.
I just got my account. Hold on.
Consequences to his
Everybody,
actions.
Everyone, time
right?
out. Time out. Everyone, time out. I just got my account back today. I'm going to respectfully ask that we keep calm and docile tones so I don't get another banana. That would be excellent for me.
And he actually got pushed. So Carmelo got pushed numerous of times before Austin was stabbed. And Austin was sitting down, or not sitting down, not Austin. Carmelo was sitting down when Austin got stabbed. So we don't even know, right, if Carmelo purposely or meant to actually stab Austin, or if Austin, as he was going to push Carmelo again, got stabbed. We don't know that because there are conflicting reports, right? And the medical examiner even said that it could be a possibility that as Austin was reaching over, he could have easily impaled himself with the blade. That's a possibility.
Okay, so again, he was told to leave. He didn't. He got pushed. Then he got stabbed.
But
so
told
there's,
to
So
leave.
if I tell you to,
Austin
so if I tell you to leave, you should have fucking leave without any fucking pushback, right?
That's.
You realize
Listen,
how
I'm
stupid you
trying to
sound.
go. You don't
You realize how stupid you sound.
because
If
you
I tell
can't
you
follow
to,
a logic.
so if I tell you to leave, you
That's
should
not
fucking leave.
logical. But Lone Star,
But you're
that's not
telling me to
logical.
leave, and
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
telling you to leave, like
leave.
Austin told Carmelo to
You're
leave.
telling me to
I'm
leave,
telling
and
you
I
to leave,
don't
like
leave. So
Austin
you
told
push
Carmelo to
me, so
leave.
I stab you, so that it's your fault.
But
right?
wait. Hold on. That's not so. Okay, so hold on.
That's exactly what happened.
Hunter told Carmelo to leave. Carmelo did not leave. So Austin put his hands on Carmelo. And then somehow in that scuffle, Austin got stabbed by a knife
he
in
didn't
Carmelo's
accidentally
possession.
pull out a knife.
I'm not saying he accidentally pulled out the knife.
Accident.
Hold on. I'm
But
not saying he stop it. I'm not saying he accidentally pulled out the knife. I'm saying somehow in the scuffle where the knife got pulled, Austin got stabbed. Right?
And Austin
none of us were
suffered
there.
the consequences of his actions for putting his hands on somebody else.
Yes,
right?
he did.
Okay.
And it was death.
So now Carmelo is suffering the consequences of stabbing somebody.
What is a stand your ground law? So in the state in the state you live in, Lone Star, if you come up to me and you put your hands on me and I stab you, what happens to me?
I don't think I live in a stand your ground.
You live in South Dakota, right?
Yeah.
So let's say we're in a is a stand your ground state. It is a stand your ground state. So again, Lone Star, we're at a Walmart. I've said something to piss you the fuck off. You come up and you grab me and I stab you. What happens to me?
Nothing. Right?
Right. So what are we talking about? We're talking about kids who in the heat of the moment all made a terrible decision, but we are talking about a black boy who was approached by two big white boys who were aggressive towards him. Do I think Carmelo Anthony pulled out that knife with the intention of killing Austin? No. I think he pulled out that knife with the intention of defending himself from a potential terrible situation because he wanted to get out of the rain.
Protecting himself, yeah. And I think Neff asked you a great question, right? Who is in charge of the tent? It's not Austin, it's not Hunter. It belongs to the school. So Austin and Hunter have no authority to go up to Carmelo and tell him to leave out of the tent. And this is why I say a lot of people like yourself, you guys don't understand track culture. This is so common in the track culture where students will be under each other's tents from rival schools with each other all the time. I remember being in track and going to our rival school's tent because I was friends with people at that school, and we used to share fucking snacks together. It was common. Carmelo was under the tent with someone that he knew from that school, a friend.
So I do want to make a quick correction. It was a 6-in-1 multi-tool that was used. This was used to primarily used to clean cleats at the track meet. It did, however, have a knife on it. It is a 6-in-1 multi-tool, not a knife.
Yeah, that's
Not
what
like
I said
a knife
earlier.
in
I said
itself,
that
so.
the tool that he had is predominantly used to clean track cleats. And everyone in the comments was going berserk after I said that. When that is, like, literally that tool is what you use to clean your track cleats.
Right.
So, I mean, like, once again, I think Neff asked you an amazing question, right? Did Austin and Hunter have the authority to kick Carmelo out of the tent? Yes or no?
If he didn't go to that school, then yes.
No.
That's not a fucking answer.
No.
How the
What
fuck
authority
isn't
do
it an answer when it
because
came
Lone
out of my
Star,
mouth?
Lone Star, what authority do children in a school have? What authority do children have in school? Any child, any school, what authority do they have in that school?
None.
So what makes you think they have authority over school property?
So they have
Because
no
they
authority.
attend?
So they
And
had no
also,
authority whatsoever, but yet he had authority to tell Carmelo to get out from under the tent. You realize how stupid you fucking sound.
And also, once again, a coach, mind you, once again, a coach on testimony even said that there was no rule prohibiting athletes to go to other school teams' tents. It was allowed. It is a common thing. It's allowed. They are allowed to do that because track, the difference between track and football is a team sport. Track is not. Track is an individual sport.
Track and field. I mean, you have a track team, sure,
Track
but
is
you.
a team sport.
But hold on,
You have a team score.
But you don't participate as a team, right?
You participate as an individual.
Right, you have a
For the
person that does
long
hurdles, you have a person that does like the 500 meter, you have a person that does like that weird jumpy thing that like that Australian dude got his dick stuck on whenever he like flew over that bitch. Everybody
Oh my
remember
God,
that?
Emma.
I'm trying to break the ice a little bit, babe. Don't try to, like
I get it. I'm just saying, as someone who actually did track, it like the camaraderie is that's not how you
Camaraderie.
say the word.
Camaraderie.
Thank you.
Or like Sabrina Carpenter said, come right on me. I mean camaraderie.
Is a lot different, right? Compared to maybe a football game. It's very different. It is very common for students to go to rival teams or opposing teams' tents and hang out there while they're waiting for, their next thing or whatever. It is very common. So once again, he did neither of those boys had authority to tell Carmelo to leave from that particular tent. And if they had such a big issue with it, they should have went and gotten an adult. And they didn't.
Yep. And now they're suffering the consequences of their actions.
I just don't think those consequences should be an entire lifetime.
Well, that's not my decision. I'm not the judge. I wasn't on the jury. So
Can you admit that that the jury the sentencing and the judge did that because he's black?
No.
No,
Shut up, Grandpa. No one asked you.
Oh, I mean, Grandpa, if you do want to give us your age real quick so you can join into the conversation. You've been sitting up there quite some time. I forgot about you. So sorry, Papa.
I am 60 years
Way
old.
to be forgettable.
I appreciate you for waiting there patiently until just now.
Not a problem.
Can you say that the jury and the jury selection, the judge, the verdict, all of this, you mean to tell me that still, with all of this that we're trying to explain to you, you don't believe that any of it was motivated by race?
Nope.
No. The facts don't show.
You are
you sound
you are
stupid.
woefully
stupid.
See, here's the thing.
Nancy,
Here's the
you're
thing.
so
Because I know.
tired.
No, I need you to stop.
You're
I
right.
wait. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. I don't give a fuck that you're deconstructing. This is baseline bullshit, man. This is 101 bullshit, man. This is a deconstruction 101. This is the fucking bottom of the barrel, is believing that racism actually exists in the systems that are built off of fucking racism. Like, I'm sorry. I know other people gave you flowers, and not anything against Emma and Maddie. Y'all are white, and you gave a white man flowers about deconstructing from race. When I'm sitting here,
no, don't group me
absolutely
in that.
Maddie
I did
wasn't
not.
in that.
Don't group me in that.
That's
I did
true.
not give
That
him
is true. You know what?
But for the record,
You're right.
I gave him flowers for deconstruction in general, not specifically for racism.
This is a huge part of it, though. And this is what's kind of bothering me. And I'm not going after you for any of that. You, sir, you white man, you are getting flowers for failing Deconstruction 101. You're getting flowers for Deconstruction 101 and failing it. The mediocrity couldn't be more obvious, Lone Star. From any
all
of
of the
that.
different
things that I've heard. I don't know, man. I don't know. Where's is the fucking deconstruction in the room with us? Has the room deconstructed?
Lone Star,
You're woefully failing.
Let's switch it around. What if it was 2 black boys and 1 white boy, right? Do you think that everyone would be as pissed off right now and be saying that, like, do you think everyone would be like, oh, it's self-defense, or no, it was murder?
I don't think you'd have heard about it.
No, it would still be murder.
You really think that people would still say, oh, it's murder?
Yes.
See, I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you. And the reason why I have to disagree with you is because if it was 2 black boys, right, and 1 black boy died, right, and it was a white boy, and he claimed self-defense, I guarantee you the jury would have said it was self-defense. I guarantee you. They would have never said it was murder. I'm sorry.
So why was Kyle Rittenhouse not Schmurder? Why was Chow not Schmurder? Why was Zimmerman not Schmurder? If you could give me any answer to these that would be relevant, it'd be greatly appreciated because you're really starting to piss me the fuck off.
I don't care if I'm pissing you off, dude. You're a nobody on TikTok
And
that doesn't like my answers.
You're a nobody.
What? I'm a nobody. What?
A
Lone
nobody.
Star, stick to your guns.
You're
Grandpa,
a
cut it out.
I'm a nobody. What? I'm a nobody white
nobody.
person. Oh, great!
Nobody
Haven't heard
man.
that fucking before. Great. Why don't
You're
you
a
show
nobody
your
white man.
racism?
So
Oh, you're
That's
a
not
white
racism.
That's not racism,
I
Lone
can't be
Star.
Oh,
racist to
black
you.
people can't be
I
racist.
can't
You
be
know
racist
what?
to you
Shut
because
up,
you don't
dude.
understand.
Oh my
You
gosh.
don't
Because
understand
you
the
don't have
construct of
power.
race.
You don't have
No,
power,
because you don't
right? You
understand
don't
the
have power.
construct of race. You sound real dumb.
Have power.
I'm really trying to be nice because
No,
Emma
you're
asked
not,
me
dude.
to.
Shut up.
But what
Don't
I'm
play in
not
my
gonna
face.
do,
You're not trying to be nice.
you're
You're really pissing
playing
me
in
off.
my
Yeah,
face.
yeah,
I don't
no.
care if I piss your white ass off. You know what, mayonnaise? I don't give a fuck if I piss your fucking moldy bread ass off. I don't care. Because you know what you ain't gonna do? You ain't gonna talk to me sideways in public because you ain't gonna have no teeth left, you punk motherfucker.
Neff, I
Neff.
love you.
Yeah.
I need you to take a
That
lap.
can go both ways.
Neff,
Yeah,
come
take a
right
lap.
back
Shut
up.
up,
Take a
Grandpa.
lap.
Emma, check
Right back,
Discord. I think
Grandpa.
Crow messaged you. This is not the first bad take, Lone Star, but this is probably the worst one. I'm not really sure what happened. You were on the path of deconstruction for a very short period of time, and you have completely reverted backwards. So I'm not really sure. I don't know if you know, Emma, but a few weeks ago, Lone Star said that he doesn't believe women unless he knows or trusts them. So that was a bad take. I crashed out about that, so I have no longer had these
He also
conversations
denied
with
the
Lone
E.
Star.
Jean Carroll.
Yeah. So this is pretty bad, but like not admitting racism exists and then calling a black man racist is bad. That's kind of the worst look you've had so far, Lone Star. I'm not really sure what the fuck's going on.
I got a question.
Shut up, Grandpa. I wasn't talking to you yet.
I was asking the questions.
Well, I didn't ask you a question. I asked Lone Star a question because I had a relationship with Lone Star, so I'd like to hear his answer.
Who runs this?
I do, Grandpa. But Grandpa Jess has a point. We have a relationship with Lone Star. He's been doing a lot of deconstruction that, like, in our spaces. He is a Trump voter who was like moving away from Trump and deconstructing. So like we have skin in the game here, Grandpa. Where like you're a stranger on the internet. trying to act as if we're bullying somebody that we considered a parasocial friend. Like this, like he sent her like cuts of meat, has her address, right? Like, so like there's more happening here than what you know about. But sure, Papa, what's your question?
Grandpa.
It's Grandpa. Anyway,
Papa?
my question is this: is white people the only ones that are racist?
Yes.
White people created racism, yes.
We created it.
We
What?
we created.
Hang on. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because the Portuguese created race in order to make it so that they could imprison and enslave black folk. Now, here's the thing.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
No.
You have to listen to the first answer. Grandpa, you gotta listen to the first answer.
Shush, Grandpa, or else I'm going to take your dentures and hide them in the dog bed. Stop it. Stop it, Grandpa. So here's the thing, my dude. White folk are the only ones capable of racism because white folk are the ones that hold systemic power. When you're talking about one race towards another race, as in like black folk towards Asian folk or Asian folk towards indigenous folk or indigenous folk towards Pacific Islanders, we're talking about race triangulation. It's a completely different concept in which we are using white supremacy in order to triangulate the hatred against that specific race from white supremacy back into that other race. It's a concept called race triangulation. I suggest you go watch Super Solid's fucking lives when he talks about this, because clearly you don't know your asshole from your fucking moldy old gummy teeth, my dude.
All right,
I don't know what you want.
So
right, listen here,
hold
blue-
on, Grandpa,
blue
hold on.
hair.
Grandpa, shush. You asked your question. Now I need to get back to Lone Star because when I came up, he muted and now has nothing to say. So there's also a black man on the panel who I would like to actually give a chance to speak to, but I really would like to. I'm curious about what Lone Star is doing.
Wait, where is Neff? Neff, Dark Matter.
No,
friendly?
so yeah, Dark Matter is a friendly. Neff had to take a lap because of TikTok AI.
Aw, Grandpa left. Bye, Grandpa.
Okay, which means I can let Neff back up. Great. Beautiful. I was waiting for somebody to drop off.
Lone
Bye,
Star,
Papa.
what's going on, Lone Star?
May they turn the Wi-Fi off at the retirement home.
Do you even care about this stuff? Like, honestly.
So you're bringing up when I said you brought up a case and I said, I'm not the jury, I'm not the judge. It does not matter if
It does matter, though. It does matter. You're a white man who exists in a world where racism exists, and people who have to deal with racism from people who look like you. So it does matter, Lone Star. You can say it doesn't matter all you fucking want, but you as a white man, regardless of whether you want to sit up here and say it doesn't matter, maybe it doesn't matter to you because you're not affected by it. But to be a good person, to be in the process of deconstructing, you need to get your fucking shit together. You need to understand that it matters to the world around you.
So we had our discussion, and I hadn't contacted you or said anything in your chat because I was mulling what you said over and trying to think of where my thought process went wrong. I told you I was going to do that, right?
Okay, but now you're here again. We're on a different topic now. So now we're talking.
And we're talking about a case that involved two people that are suffering the consequences of their actions.
Color matters in the judicial system, Lone Star. I don't know what you're not understanding about the fact that color matters when it comes to the way that people are prosecuted in this country. What's
And
not checking?
And Lone Star, this is why I made a good, kind of analogy, right? And I asked you a certain question, and Queen, actually, amazing black woman, by the way, actually was the one that pointed this out, that her son is now officially no longer in the cute stage. And I asked you, you've seen my son, you think he's adorable and cute. You said yes. And I'm glad you think that. But unfortunately, in a few years, when he gets older, when he becomes a teenager, like the same age as Carmelo was, they're not going to see him as cute and adorable. they're going to see him as a threat. They're going to see him as an aggressor. They're going to see him as aggressive. They're going to see him as a thug, as some of those white people who were defending Austin Metcalf were saying. That's how they will see my child. That's what you need to understand. The system is not built to benefit my child.
But I've never
But what's so
said
funny is that
that
the same
about.
I know, but what's so funny though is that the same people that in the future would call my son a gang member, a thug, a threat, an aggressor, are the same people that are now currently in my chat saying, "Oh my God, he's so adorable. He's so cute. Look at his curls."
Yeah, nobody. I've never said anything about that. I was trying to argue the facts of the case. And Neff,
So,
I want to
sir,
apologize.
I'm gonna present you with another fact of the case.
Time out.
The
We
boy that
do
was
have to
unalive.
let Lone Star finish a sentence. We have to. It's unfair that there are so many of us who continue to cut him off every turn he gets.
Okay.
Neff, I would like to apologize. I should not. I understand. I don't live in the shoes. I've never experienced what Black people have to experience. So yes, I have a different perspective, and I try to see the different sides, but I never will. I just never will. I'll never live your life. And I apologize for the interaction that we had. I've listened to you in other lives, and you're very intelligent, but I shouldn't have acted the way I acted, so I want to apologize. Hopefully, we can go back to a cordial discourse.
I want you to recognize that, well, your apology may be all well and good. I want you to recognize that at you as a white man and the way that Neff is responding to you is how every person of color has to respond. And we maybe not show that on the outside, but on the inside, this is how it feels to have a white person say these things to somebody of color. So I just want you to recognize that for a second. And while you may be apologizing, I want you to look at the reaction of Neff. And this is what Black people and people of color have had to deal with their entire fucking lives. And they've had to put on a smile and fucking pretend like it doesn't fucking happen to be able to interact with people in fucking public.
So here's the thing about apologies. The words are just words. They're not the apology. Action is the apology. You want to actually show that you're doing the work? I'm giving you a homework assignment, Lone Star. I want you to go pick up the book, The Color of Law. The Color of Law. It'll talk about the judicial system, redlining, the way that our laws are set up, legislation, and race. The Color of Law.
Can I find that on Apple Books?
Probably.
Because it is a very well-known book about race.
I just want to add on that I think these conversations are very important because one thing that I noticed as a white person that's right there with you, Lone Star, and your apology is like you're absolutely correct. We are never going to know the types of lives that people have to live coming from communities of color and being a part of those communities of color. We can empathize all day long. And like once upon a time, I used to have the same views, right? That like everything was going to be all fine and dandy because like all of the systems were put in place to work the way that they're supposed to work. And then I started noticing the differences in how people were treated. I started noticing how I was spoken to compared to a friend of mine who just looked differently than me, right? In situations that I was just as guilty as she was for being like a stupid teenager and having married iguanas in a car. But I was spoken to vastly different. I was treated vastly different. And like the views that we have that these systems are supposed to work the way that they're supposed to work, that comes from a place of privilege. And that's a privilege that we experience and we have that they don't experience and they don't get.
Neff, what do you need from us, love? Is there anything that we could do for you right now?
Also, Dark Matter, would you like an opportunity to chime in here as well? You've been waiting patiently.
Hi, Dark Matter.
Hello.
I think of the camo from Call of Duty.
So, with all due respect, I've been listening this whole time. I understand that you guys want to be compassionate here. I understand you guys are just trying to be nice about this, but that man is not deconstructing anything. That man is not listening to y'all. He's not taking on any information, and the only person he raised his voice at was Neff. I saw that display of behavior just now, and you guys are not going to tell me that he's deconstructing anything, period. That's all I want to say. If any of you want to tell me otherwise and tell me, okay, you know him and you know that that's what, we know him, we know how he really is at his core and all of that, respectfully, I'm going to tell you absolute bullshit. That man is not deconstructing anything, and you're not going to change his mind, and he's not listening to y'all. You're wasting your time. This is going in a loop. And this man is upsetting me. He's upsetting Neff, obviously. He's upsetting several people in the chat, and I really do not think that he should continue to be on this panel. Respectfully. That's all I'm going to say. You can drop me now, please. I don't want to share space with this man, and I do not want him to speak to me directly.
Okay, I hope you have a good night, Dark Matter.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. I think this is probably the third conversation that I've had with Lone Star that I really just, I feel like before you come up on any more panels or before you show your face in any other spaces, I think you need to do some fucking work. And I'm also going to hop off. I think this was absolutely horrible. And I think as a white person, you owe more than just apologies. I think apologies mean shit.
Just before you go, what happened to your main account?
I get it back tomorrow at 8.
Oh, okay.
She got threatened and she got clapped for it?
Yeah. Yep. I said IHATE men, and because I was being threatened.
Are you really serious?
Oh, no.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, he threatened my life. He said he was going to come to my house. Neff,
Entire fucking account banned for saying men SUCK.
yeah. And Neff, I see you. I recognize you. And we love you. That's all.
All right, I'm going to drop you down.
Lone Star, stub your toe before you go to sleep tonight. Bye.
You just.
I mean, respectfully, like I don't disagree with Jess or Dark, and the reason why is because Lone Star, me and you have had some issues back and forth where you've said some shit to me, and I called you out on it because you never said that same shit to Jess, and you were in Jess's space, and then people that are in my space that were also in Jess's space made sure to inform Jess because I found it a little weird that you would say certain things that you disagreed or you didn't agree with that I was saying, but you wouldn't say that shit in Jess's live. So yeah, I'm not like I never claimed to be a friend of yours. You just unfortunately were associated with Emma.
Lone Star,
Emma, it's your fault.
Excuse me, I meant Lone Star in Jess's chat. For the record, Lone Star, I really hope you do the work. I hope you purchase that book. I hope you read it, and I hope you come out better for it. I am going to drop you back down, though. There are numerous people who are very upset and that I care about immensely, and so I am going to drop you down for the evening. So, Neff, is there anything I can do for you?
I just need a second.
Okay, I just want you to
And
know
if I got
I'm
some of
here.
that good for you.
I see you, I hear you, and I'm here for you, whether it be right now in live or in my DMs later. They are absolutely open to you anytime, and I care about you, and I just want you to know that. Dark, I also care about you as well. I want you to know that, and I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I am not one to be able to judge anyone else's deconstruction journey and what that looks like, seeing as I have been on my own for quite some time. So you calling that out, I hear you, Dark, and I want you to know that I hear you and I'm listening.
Now, if you want me to call Mutang for you?
I could have swore I just let Allie up. What the hell?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you want me to text her for you? I got you.
Yeah, you can.
Guys, I am
Hey.
about to call it for the night, so if anyone has any final words real quick, I know Allie and Blue Betty just got here. If you guys would like to say something.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm
Betty.
just
I'll go after you.
this name in the chat. I don't know how to say it. I just put it in, and I hope that Lone Star is still listening, because if he thinks this isn't about race or anything else, he's sorely mistaken. I don't know if you guys knew the story about that store owner, South Carolina. A black teenager had gone into his store last year or the year before, was looking at things, looking at the water. He touched them, did not take anything, did not steal a damn thing. But the store owner and I think his son chased him down with a pew pew and ended up pewing him in the back and unaliving him. Okay?
I learned about this tonight, Blue Betty. I had no idea that had even happened.
Mm-hmm. And the verdict came in last week. And I really hope you're listening, Lone Star, because guess what happened? It was a black teenager and a non-black man, and that man was found not guilty.
Yep.
For pewing
No,
a
shooting him in the back. He shot a teenage boy in the back.
And I'm sorry,
Who
like
did
you
not
can't,
steal a goddamn
That's what I'm
thing.
saying. Regardless if he stole something, you cannot argue
Exactly.
self-defense. I'm sorry. Like he was running out of the store.
They
right?
shot
You
him in the
didn't-
back.
and shot him in the back.
Wait, you guys, can I make a very quick hot suggestion?
Absolutely.
We are doing a lot of lifting for Lone Star, and we're using black trauma to do it. So I would like to recommend that we actually try to shift gears and talk about something different, because I want everyone to recognize that we all felt okay to continue using black trauma to make a point for a white man while a black man's up here suffering.
No, that's absolutely
I
valid.
apologize.
I was just trying to give everyone their peace before I logged off for the night because my toddler is, what's the word I'm
Mine
looking
is
for?
too. No,
Squirming
I already
around.
know the word. Yeah, I already know the word you're about to use because mine is too, and he's being a little butt face and antsy right now.
Oh,
I
mine's
was thinking
asleep.
about.
He just wants cuddles.
Oh, off topic. Shorn said toddlering. Toddlering. That's a tricky word to say. Off topic. Bubba's smacked me in the face a couple days ago.
L Bubba's.
They do
No,
that.
you know what's so funny is that everybody in the chat is saying he's just learning. It's okay.
L Bubba's. Don't hit your mom.
See, you hear him laughing.
All right, Allie, what would you like to add to this conversation?
I just want to, like, it's, I feel like we keep getting disappointed by men, like, left and right, and it just sucks, and I'm just sorry, because I know our communities have been through a lot, and it sucks.
That is very true.
And I'm sorry, Nep, that was unacceptable.
I'm sorry that even happened to you. Y'all gift Neff. I'm sorry that even happened to you because first and foremost, I did notice that him, what he did, and that's not okay. And just know that we are here for you. We love you. We support you. And yeah, your feelings were totally valid, and this community loves you.
Yep.
And I do want to apologize because I did not notice it, and I should have as the host of this live, and I should have absolutely had control of that situation, and I didn't, Neff, and I let you down, and I'm really sorry, and it absolutely will not happen again. I can absolutely make you that promise. I will pay more attention, and none of that will ever happen the way that it did tonight again.
Neff, I want you to know that I've got your back always, yeah? Cousins.
This shit just hits a nerve, like for real, because like I was in high school when they tried to burn crosses on my lawn. I was in high school when they tried to hang me. I was in
I'm sorry, it's fucked up.
I don't know you, but I love you. I hope you know that.
We gotta be real cautious, y'all. We as non-black folk, we gotta be real cautious. We are real fast and loose with using other people's trauma as our gotcha moments. And we need to stop that shit.
You are correct.
I'm not intending to.
No. I'm not saying any one person was specifically guilty of it. I'm saying that we are way too comfortable doing it.
I think for future, like if anybody brings up the case, we just not talk about it. And like we can talk about maybe the facts of the case, and we can obviously talk about like the racial shit, but we just don't actually debate on with racists who are justifying it. Like I was
No,
told
absolutely.
by
This was honestly the first time I've spoken about the case, and that's only because I got a notification of excuse me, the sentencing, and it was like it was a gut punch. I have purposely, and I've been honest with the chat about this, I have purposely not looked at this case because I knew this was going to be just another black boy that was made an example out of. And I hate that. I can't stand it. And it was a gut punch to see 35 years come across my screen. And in that moment where I was trying to just stay calm, cool, and collected and have debates, I fell apart because like his whole life is gone. His entire life is gone now because of what? Because 17-year-olds got into a fight? Because two white 17-year-old boys should have never tried to tell any other person where and when to be?
And I think, like, for future references, like, I was muting people in the chat if they were actively being fucking racist or this, that, and the
I was
third.
blocking them.
For future references, I blocked a couple of them. For future references, don't bring anybody up that's actively, if you see that they're actively being, racist or they're justifying it, don't bring them up. And if they come up and they justify it, block and kick them out, because that's basically how I ran my live today. Me and a couple people, we talked about it, we vented, we expressed our feelings, but we didn't let anybody come up. Like, we didn't let any of the opposition come up, because there's no point to even hear their side or hear their opinion or even debate on it, because clearly they're not going to understand, and they're not going to deconstruct and actually understand the justice system. They choose not to, because they choose to be fucking ignorant.
Right. And so if anybody wants to DM me on how I can do better, I am absolutely open to that whatsoever. Whatsoever is not the word I'm looking for. I'm half asleep.
It honestly wasn't your fault. It's a knee jerk reaction for them, and I'd much rather it happen to me than y'all. Like, yeah, it frustrates me. Yeah, it pisses me off. Yeah, he wouldn't say that shit to my face, but I'd much rather it be me.
But you don't deserve that. So next time, what we're gonna do is, if this happens again, we're just gonna kick the person, or we're not even just gonna platform them, because we're not gonna do that, because you don't deserve that, love. You should not have to deal with that. You should not have to deserve that, and you should not have to be, especially talked to the way that you were talked to when he was calm with everybody else. Like, that's just not okay. You don't deserve that. So know that. And like I said, Neff, you fucking ate with that.
Absolutely,
That one
you
thing
did.
that you mentioned.
That was a beautiful. That was an absolutely beautiful question. I think we were
everybody
all
was
shocked.
everybody was in the comments saying thank you, finally, like someone actually like brought this up. Like, I mean, yeah.
Yep. And I have set a new boundary for myself, like just on this app in general, that like if I won't allow my husband, who like feeds me, finances me, and does that other F thing to me, talk to me any type of way, I won't let people on the internet talk to me any type of way, and I need to extend that to the people that I care about.
Hell yes.
So
I just wanted to say I love you guys. I love this community. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. And at the end of the day,
I love you guys too. I really do need to get to bed. Neff, is there anything I could do for you tonight? Because I will be checking on you in the morning.
Nah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I will absolutely shoot you a DM in the morning to make sure you're okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I adore you guys immensely. I can't believe it's 11:30 at night and I'm not dead.
I know. I am shocked. I don't think I've ever seen you awake this late.
Because that's not a thing that I do. I love you guys so much, and I hope you all have a better night. Good night.
Tomorrow